everyone, and welcome to Eberron Terminus. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. If you're wondering what's happening to Grace right now, Vic told a joke. My name's Chloe, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/D&D and twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. For anyone who is new to D&D, whether you've somehow stumbled upon our channel or the official D&D channel despite not being familiar, everyone who is around me plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. They are playing individual characters with individual character sheets on various devices, and those sheets tell them what they can do, what they're good at, what they're bad at, what is unique about them. 9 times out of 10, they will be rolling dice that look like this, 20-sided dice, and they'll be adding a number from the sheet to that dice roll to see if they're successful at doing things, or if they are hilariously or painfully bad at doing them. 20s are good, 1s are bad, and everything else is somewhere on that scale. Whilst they play their characters, and everything else in the world is played by me. So far it's been people who aren't very good spies, bombs, airships, people who aren't very good at spotting spies, etc. Between me describing the world and them describing what their characters do, and dice rolls to keep things unpredictable, we tell a story together. There is so this is episode 3 of 4. As a recap, because a lot happened last time, everyone here is a special ops agent with organisation The Line, who try to keep a little bit of balance happening in Eberron, in Khorvaire, following the events of the last war. We've seen the team finish up on one of their missions, which was incredibly slick, no fatalities, just some flora and fauna related business. But we've also seen that they've been given a new mission, and that mission is to get onto a runaway train where they've got an ally who seems to be trapped on there, potentially captured, and they also need to recover a Siberys Dragonshards, a very powerful item that's used in the creation of dread machines and such like. They believe that there is an organisation on there, the Order of the Emerald Claw, something which is pretty fair to believe considering that they've had people try to sabotage them who have been wearing or possessing Emerald Claw emblems. So they've got to catch up with this runaway train, and to do so they chartered an airship to fly in a straight line and head it off at the pass, as it were. There were spies on the airship, there was a big fight on the airship, there was a bomb that went off, a lot of stuff happened, moonbeams came out of the night sky, people lost their portable holes, there were giant snakes, a snake on an airship, and such like.
All of those things have been Aoife so far. Every single one of them.
There's been a lot of chaos around Aoife. But there's been a lot going on, and so now the team have managed to wrestle control of this airship, with the pilot having accidentally been killed and caught in the crossfire. They've got control of the airship. They can see as a pinprick in the distance the train that they're trying to catch up with. Night has fallen and they're just sailing on through the black. And they have someone tied up and unconscious as a potential...
Oh shit!
Exactly, as someone that they can ask them questions of if they want to. So that's roughly where everyone is. How about everyone introduces themselves, gives their name, their pronouns, their character's name, their character's pronouns, and just like a little bit about your character and how they're feeling given some quite eventful business in the last episode. I'll start off with my name's Chloe. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing various characters with various different pronouns.
Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Rudy, who uses she, her pronouns. Rudy is a half-orc and half-orc barbarian, and when we last saw her, end of last session, she'd just taken control. She just intimidated the dragon shard in the wheel of the ship into doing what she tells it to. So yeah, she's currently driving the ship. Hasn't done this before, so, and is like quite enjoying the adventure and all the action and everything. Yeah, I think that's where she's at.
Hi, I'm Grace. I use they them pronouns, and I will be playing Ward, who also uses they them pronouns. Ward is a tall, broad, warforged evocation wizard who's sort of coppery toned skin with sort of runes carved into the metal with wooden body in between. Ward is deeply concerned because we now need to get to the train where our actual mission is taking place without someone who's actually technically capable of flying the plane, because we somehow managed to not look after that person well enough. They're a little bit worried about how well I'm going to be able to keep the rest of the party safe through the potential rough landing onto the train.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I use he/him pronouns, and I'm playing Baron Maka, aka Mac, who also uses he/him pronouns. I'm feeling pretty good about things. You know, the airship's still in the air. I took out one of the bad guys. The other one's in custody. I'm looking forward to us, making ship meet train at some point.
Hi, I'm Pav. I use he/him pronouns, and I'm playing Muht, who uses they/them pronouns. They're a changeling bard, and Muht is feeling actually still quite ruffled, but has kind of been in go mode since they were spying on this things happening at the bottom of the ship. Kind of ready to try and do a little bit of subterfuge and ask some questions, but I think still quite thrown that there was another changeling that might have had the one up on them.
I'm Vic. I use she/her pronouns, as does my character Aoife, who is a Kalashtar druid. Aoife is mostly feeling annoyed because her portable hull was needlessly tossed off the side of the ship by Mac, but also Mac then did save her, kind of like stepped in front of a blast or something, so like still mostly annoyed, but also coming off the dizzying high of being a super giant snake, like a super giant snake. So yeah, Aoife is like 90% like yeah and 10%
Nice. Good ratio.
Yeah.
Is Aoife still large?
And yeah, Aoife is an undisclosed size at this time because technically it's still enlarged.
I think it lasted for a minute. I imagine it's run out now.
Oh.
I think we're getting to the point where it's kind of faded out. I was definitely hadn't pictured Aoife as large when Aoife was Aoife, because you were having to run upstairs, and otherwise you would have just been like tearing through parts of the deck. So we're going to go normal sized Aoife. So before we hop into the game, just a couple of practical things. The stream will run for about 3 hours. There'll be a roughly 5-10 minute break somewhere in the middle. We are delighted to be sponsored by D&D Beyond, the official digital toolset for Dungeons & Dragons. They offer a compendium of all the game's rules, the lore, adventures, digital tools like a character builder, encounter builder, digital character sheets, which all of our players are using. And which way do I need to point? This way. If you go over here, then you can see all those beautiful images by our illustrator on this project, Aviv Orr. You can click on those and see everyone's character sheets and all the different little things about them. Additionally, the digital dice alpha is something coming very soon to D&D Beyond. Anyone with a master or hero tier subscription will have early access to roll for any check, attack, and much more straight from their character sheet. It may be out today, it may be out very soon, so do go and check out D&D Beyond. We are also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro, who help you get your tabletop organised with character folios, dice bags, and more. They do an amazing amount of things and are a leading supplier and manufacturer of sports and gaming collectibles, including... Oh, Matt's got something as well.
This is one of the older ones. I found him today.
Ah, he's so cute.
That's so cute.
Plushies. This is not just a plushie; it is also a dice bag. And we are giving this beautiful Xanathar-inspired dice bag away this week. Just chat in the Twitch chat, and unfortunately, we can only send to people who have UK addresses. But if you're in the Twitch chat, you're in with a chance of winning a plushie Xanathar dice bag, which we will remember to name in the break.
I've got a name for it. I just thought of it. Hive.
What?
Because it's a bee holder.
Awesome. So to be in with a chance to win Hive, I respect the hell out of that. So we also play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging gender and sexual identities. Our tables are trans-positive. We encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games, and myself and the characters and the players may portray, and indeed are portraying, characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but we understand that it does happen, and we have a policy in place for correcting it. If we miss an instance, however, we are totally open to being corrected, so do give us a shout in the chat or anything if you think we've missed an instance. Lastly, can everyone show your pause cards for folks? You might see these getting held up during the game, or someone talking about lines and veils. They're just some of the safety tools we're using in the game. If anyone holds up their pause card, then we'll take a brief break while we check in with everyone and pick up a few minutes later once we know everyone's comfortable and all right. And if lines are mentioned, we will stay away from that subject. We might also draw a veil over things, in which case it kind of happens off screen, as it were. There'll be a link in the chat if you're interested in any of those tools. That's what I'll say about them for now. So with that said, let's get ready with the official intro featuring that awesome artwork from Aviv Orr. Boom.
Yay!
So, as mentioned, it is currently the middle of the night. You are all on the Blackjack, a slightly raggedy, splintered, and also, especially after the events of the last episode, even more raggedy and splintered airship. Your pilot was killed by a living lightning bolt. You also killed Liz. You don't know their actual name, but Liz was the persona that the changeling spy took. You have Holden, another spy or defector, tied up and unconscious in the lower deck. Rudy was able to intimidate the elemental into doing what you want, so you have managed to get control of the ship for now.
I'd like to also say that Sidekick, my familiar, who is currently in spider mode, has run just visually, it's just a mechanical dog running up the central mast or kind of running up the side of the airship. And I've got my goggles down, so I'm looking through just to kind of get a better view of where the airship's going and trying to wrangle it into going where we want.
Presumably you took like an hour or so to get Sidekick back up and running, because Sidekick got
of course,
bounced out.
Sorry, I forgot Sidekick is not up and running.
But you
ignore all that. My apologies.
That's fine. You can totally be doing that over the break, so you've got a little bit of time before you're going to catch up with the Relentless, the train that you're after. And you're currently under cover of darkness, which is incredibly useful. Is there anything that any of you want to do before dawn breaks and you reach the Relentless? Throw your hand up if you want to. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to be joining this, but I feel like we should go and talk to Holden.
Yes, no, definitely. There could be information that he has about what we can expect on the ship, even where they're actually going. We suspect they're going to the Mournlands, but we don't. That's not information we know for sure. So I think the more we know, the better.
I will, as part of, if I'm part of that conversation, I will just like indicate that I'm wearing Liz's clothing, and kind of will change into what looks like a quite battered like whatever Liz like looked roughly like, or like I can't remember what wounds like, but something that looks like that I've been in battle as Liz.
The final thing that killed Liz was, I think, a maul from the chin up through the head.
Well,
so like a little graze here or something.
The maul knocked the chin up, and then the force crossbow fired through under the chin. So.
That's it. Yes.
Okay.
But yes, like, her hair had been. I'm going to use she/her while we're referring kind of to Liz, to the persona. Her hair had been sliced off, half of it. There had been various bits and pieces, and she had kind of shortish ginger hair, human woman appearance.
I think we got this because Holden not too bright. My understanding.
Yes. Perhaps one of our sort of maybe Rudy, as you're sort of on the burlier side of things, perhaps you could lead Mucht into the room as Liz and tie her up.
Yeah.
With Holden in a like, ooh, and you'll have to stay there until we get to the you know.
If I'm going to do that, somebody else is going to have to steer this ship.
Maybe Mac should do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good to do that.
If we want an extra person in the room for security, I could transform myself into a beetle or something and sort of crouch in a corner.
Perhaps. Well, we don't know how well that's all going to work out. So if he doesn't believe you, Mucht, then we can all sort of go in and ask questions. But until then, we can sort of work on that theory.
Yeah. How did Liz speak?
Kind of my voice, but a little bit softer and brighter, I'd say.
Okay.
So go, give it your best shot.
I turn to everyone and I say, I'm really happy to give it a go, and if it doesn't work out, then that's fine, and we can go with something else. I'm totally.
Is the voice an issue? Is that because
I have active feet, so it's just for roleplay purposes.
Okay, all right.
So I sound exactly like Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's deeply disturbing.
So, are you heading down with Rudy manning the ship's controls, Aoife as a beetle?
I think probably a spider, looking at my list, but yes.
Okay. And is Falchion joining you as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
Falchion is my steel defender, who looks like a hyena.
So cool.
I turn to Mac and I say, and Mac, don't worry about being physical, just like we did the other time.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. We'll run this like that mission back a year ago.
Do you guys not have very good memories, or?
So somewhere there's a cut to Johara just nodding that they're being sufficiently secretive about what they've done in the past. That's definitely what they're doing. Cool. Would you like to roll me some performance checks? I'd like one from each of you.
Okay.
Who's going down as part of the party to convince Holden that this is indeed Liz.
Okay. What do I get?
No one's got enhance a bit. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I've got this slightly closer to me than usual.
I can offer bardic inspiration to the worst performer.
I'm a pretty terrible performer. What I was going to say is, do I get any kind of bonus on this, because having been told that I shouldn't worry about how I act, I'm actually going to treat Mucht exactly the same as I would have treated Liz, in that I'm going to drag her into the room and throw her down.
Okay, instead of a d20, roll me a d6 for the damage you do to Mucht.
Okay.
If you say
you did
the long rest.
If you say you're going to method it, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
Pav, what did you get on performance?
I rolled a 17 plus 8, which is a 25.
It's a lot. 25.
Bards, man.
Was that 4 points of damage?
4 points of damage, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
And-
received those points.
Grace, is Ward following along?
I'll come along, but I'll just sort of coo nervously over Mac hurting Mook and sort of loiter in the doorway rather than I don't want to actually be in the room.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. You can loiter kind of at the top of the stairs.
The stairs, yeah.
It's coming
Yeah.
down the stairs and Holden's tied up beneath.
Do I need to roll a performance check for being a spider?
No, you've
You actually
genuinely
are
gone
a spider.
method. You are a spider.
I am a spider.
Therefore,
Yeah.
you've really become the spider. So that's fine for you to kind of crawl down.
Yeah.
Can I just get a little bit of the dialogue between Mac and Mook/Liz during this entrance? What does Holden hear and see?
Oh no. The less said, the better in these situations. I drag Liz, I throw her into the room, and I look between. I pull my hammer, my warhammer, and my crossbow, and I look between them, and I put the hammer back, and I just point between the two of them, and I say, "One of you is going to tell me something that I need to know. Which one do I have to shoot?
So
If you don't."
I'll die
Which
before I
one
tell
of
you
you's gonna
anything.
talk?
She knows more than wait, I'm sorry, which one do you kill? Should I know?
You talk, you both live. Tell me what you know now, Holden.
So don't you dare tell him anything.
Roll intimidation. At the moment, he's still a bit groggy. He will have more chances as he gets a bit less groggy of like, what? This person was dead, weren't they? What was that, Pav?
10.
10.
Roll a 3.
I don't have to. All of this was your idea and it went really wrong, so I don't think I have to listen to you.
I put it back to Liz. Sounds like you're ready to talk.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
We're heading for a train, and your friends in the Emerald Claw are going to be waiting for us.
I've never heard of the Emerald Claw.
We found your jewelry. Okay, the jig is up. What is waiting for us on that train?
Have you never bought a necklace on impulse?
You were both wearing the same necklace.
So I don't shop designer. Okay, that's not my.
I'm gonna give. Liz is acting a little bit oddly for this.
This is exactly what Liz is like.
This
I don't know.
is very,
I was going to say.
quips, but it is very
This
much
is exactly what I
Liz
remember
quips.
Liz doing.
Can you roll me a deception, please?
So I have advantage when I'm pretending to be somebody else, but I don't know how. If you does that count?
That's
Is that right?
fine. You're pretending to be someone else.
Okay, I got a natural 20 on the first roll, so that's fine. So I got a 31.
Sometimes it be like that.
Holden's just looking at, and as basically Holden's internal monologue is Liz is acting really differently, but I thought she got completely knocked out, and therefore obviously she's acting differently.
Can I just ask in game? We haven't long rested yet, have we? No. Having been on missions before, one of us has healing capabilities. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Two of you. Yes. Two of you.
I shoot Liz in the leg.
roll me an attack roll and damage.
What is your possible damage on this? Because I am not at full health. Like,
It's a bold move.
It is 16 attack.
I'm
to hit.
assuming that'll-
Hits.
that'll hit the
16 to
bar.
hit.
Yeah, hits.
And what's the damage?
And the damage is, oh god, let's not roll really high. Okay, it's only 2, but it's +4, so it's 6 damage.
Okay.
In the corner of the room, there's a spider going.
You see a dull glimmer from the top of the top of the stairs, and Mac, you hear in your head, this will not descend into a torture scene. That's not who we are. We're not doing this.
I pointed back at Holden. Talk now.
I'm talking. Words are coming from my mouth right now. But look, I don't know much. I know that we were meant to just try and get this ship to go down. They don't want you on that train. But I think that's probably. I don't know if that's really news. But that's what I was told, and they gave me like a thing to. Oh. No, I'm pretty sure you've taken that out of my pocket. Okay, right. So that we could get off. When we did the whole. It was meant to be a bit smooth. We were meant to like strap that bomb to the wheel so the elemental would just like get shot out. So it didn't really go quite right. Do I need to talk more?
I'm like panting in pain in IRL in game, and then it's a confusing phrase. And then I say, well, I've already warned them anyway, so. And basically what I would like to do is work out if Holden thinks that we have a way of contacting them.
Interesting. Okay. Can you roll insight?
Yes, please. Not great at this. That's a 10.
I don't suppose I could. Could I roll insight at this moment?
Can I also give that a go?
Yeah, you can all roll insight on what Holden's thinking.
Oh wait, no, fuck. Am I rolling with a spider's insight?
No, you keep your mental stats in wild.
Oh, good. I mean, I rolled like dog shit, so that's a 12.
Yeah, I have -1 to that, so that's a 4.
Oh, we all.
God, we're such a group of dumbasses.
Don't worry, you like. Holden doesn't have loads of layers. There's not loads of depth with this person right now, especially in the situation he's in. However, he just looks at Liz, looks at Mac, looks at Liz. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It looks like Holden is trying to play along with a lie he thinks Liz is telling.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna double down. I'm saying,
he's trying.
And anyway, once that train reaches the morning lands, it's all going down. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You might as well give up right now.
I thought we weren't meant to say. You know more about this than yeah. To be honest, I don't really know how you stop it going to the moorlands. So, is that? Have I talked enough? Will you let me go?
I think letting you go isn't an option at this point. But
then why was I talking?
We're not going to kill you. That's why you were talking.
Oh,
you get to live
okay.
the rest of your life in a very small cell somewhere. If we get off this thing and it doesn't crash after we've left it.
Right.
How well did you tie me up?
Roll a sleight of hand for how well you did that, because you were sincerely trying.
Sorry.
You said you were going to do everything proper.
I think
Is this me?
Yeah, this is
oh
for
my
Mac.
god, really? Sleight of hand. Wow, okay. Oh, 16.
Pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just like a slip knot you can hoof out of.
Can I use knock to... Oh wait, do I have a...
Knocks for like locked objects. I don't know about...
It's a rope, okay.
Knock for a rope.
I just say, well, I'm still up for a fight, and I kind of like hobble, if I can, up with my...
Right. I say, it seems like you got more to tell us. Right, you stay here, I'll be back, but you are going to live. We are not going to hurt you. You're going to live. Remember that. Don't do anything stupid. And I grab the rope and I drag Liz out of the room.
Okay.
How partially are you dragging Liz there?
less harshly than before.
Okay.
So there's no
roll
dice
damage.
to roll. What damage would that be?
If you'd done it really harshly, like the bludgeoning as she gets dragged up the stairs. But you can head up if that's where you're aiming to go now.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, is there a door we can close and then we can end scene at that point?
There's like kind of hatches at the top of the stairs that you can just and kind of close Holden in down there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we can. And then I will, after we're outside, I will untie Liz / Mutt.
Well played.
Oh, I forgot this thing's a little bit more powerful than the last thing I had. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's good.
Man, Eric's is so cool. This is amazing.
Are you well, Moot? Are you okay? I sort of went a little bit more sharply than we necessarily anticipated, Mac.
Yeah, sorry. But we got results, and I didn't have to torture the prisoner, so I feel pretty good about that. Sorry, Mutt.
Am I still a spider in the room with him?
Yeah, if you haven't left, you're still a spider.
I haven't left. Can I use Mind Link to talk to him while still a spider?
Yeah, you've used Mind Link whilst in animal form before,
Yeah.
so
I would like to go and spider up and sort of sit on his leg as a spider and just go, "Hey, down here. I may be a simple spider, but you need to reconsider.
Okay, sorry.
You need to reconsider your life choices."
What?
I'm just saying.
Tries to shake his head to.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying you've fallen in with a bad lot. But you know the thing about spiders is that we try again, and I can't do it. I turn back into Aoife. Look, if that train
just on
reached the
his
Moorland,
leg.
if that train reached the Moorland, and a single hair on my people's head are hurt, I will be coming back for you, and a lot of hairs on your head will be hurt. Okay, thank you. Matt, can you let me out?
Holden just watches.
I don't think we locked the door. I think we did. We lock the door. We did. Yeah, it's just
You kind of shut that down, but you can push it up from underneath.
I'll do that then. Yeah.
Thank you.
So did any of you ask what they were going to use the dragon shard for?
Um,
None of you asked that.
I don't think that Holden knew.
Yeah. I feel like
Well,
these two.
you can
these
assume
two were
that,
too low
because-
level. Yeah.
It's sort of a bit. It's oh shit. It's Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
thoughts,
shard.
really, and in this sort of Schrodinger's train, Well,
Can I stick my head back through into the cell?
Sure.
What are they using the dragon shard for?
A machine? I don't know. Or that, like, they're excited about a machine.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
That's a little better. That is 14.
Yeah, seems to be telling you the truth.
actually knows.
You are not a smart man. He doesn't know.
I imagine you try to rack your brains for information, when you're scared out of your wits and your friend has just been killed in front of you, I imagine he's under an awful lot of strain. Perhaps if you've, done taunting the person that we've brutalized and tied up downstairs, you could heal our friend Mukt, Aoife.
Okay, judgy.
Well, I can't. I wish I could do anything other than just hurting people, but it's just that's not. I can't do that. So you will have to.
Look to you. How are you feeling?
I mean, I've been better, but I also have 3 cure wounds that I could use on myself or other people.
what is the general state of play health-wise? I mean, it feels like we're about to rest, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, you can.
But on the
fairly
other hand,
safely assume.
I mean, we could just do some other. Anyone want a bark skin?
Is there anything particularly you'd like to do before resting, including kind of Rudy up on the deck manning the ship?
Yeah, Rudy needs to spend an hour casting Find Familiar again, basically, getting Sidekick up and running, and we'll change Sidekick into Owl mode this time.
Oh.
Cool.
Which means Sidekick has flyby and doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Nice.
And obviously, obviously owls can fly. I'm thinking Sidekick is just like ridiculously acrobatic, and kind of can leap however high he needs to leap. Essentially,
He doesn't have little jet propulsion in his paws.
No, I think like watching him like flip around, it's like doing backflips and tricks and all sorts of cool stuff in the air.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
It's very cool.
Where is Ket?
Ket's body is still on the top deck, where she was hit with the living lightning bolt.
We need to work out. When we reach this train, we're all getting off this ship, and that elemental is going to. Who knows what it will do? We have a hostage on here that we've told we'll let live, and we have a body that should have some sort of burial. Any smart ideas?
I can. Well, I was going to say I was going to suggest that we burn them, but it might let the train know that we're coming.
We also probably can't burn the hostage we said we would let live.
No, I was talking about the body really, rather than the hostage. Then yes,
we could try and talk to the elemental, see if it wouldn't mind doing a drop off on its way to freedom.
I don't know how these things work. Will it just continue to fly around after we? It won't want to crash into the ground, will it?
So, for those of you who are familiar with these things, if a airship is in flight and there's no one controlling it, it will still actually just fly around of its own volition, because the elemental would have to be suppressed in order to, as it were, park it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it would just keep flying like around. I mean, that's all right. It's like a scenic view of Eberron. Tour.
I think at this point, I don't know. Sorry, has everybody come back up to deck, or are you still all right?
Yeah, I think we would come back up.
Yeah, you wanted to chat about that.
I think at this point we don't have time to worry about this. It might be something that we can come back and deal with later.
We can always drop. We can also always drop the hostage out with a feather token.
That's what he was after in the first place, I assume.
Yes,
That's clever. Okay.
Yes, and that's
We'll do
always an
that.
option. Pat, I imagine we'll have to jump out at some point. We can always sort of, woof, off he goes, you know.
Okay. I have an idea for Ket.
Okay.
I'd like to go up to where Ket is, and using some slight creative use of the spell, cast plant growth on her, and essentially using the body to grow a tree out of the deck of the gear, but like a really like beautiful kind of like silvery tree that like is like she's like wrapped up in its roots and stuff and is like part of the ship kind of thing.
Can I suggest maybe take her to the front of the ship, and she
Yes.
becomes like the figurehead for.
Oh yeah, that's real cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Mm.
Yeah, like dryad style.
Yeah, it's probably as you start doing this, you might adapt the type of tree, because airships are made of a very special type of wood that's incredibly light. So you probably feel the ship just go like this a tiny bit, and then thin it out.
Make it hollow.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, you successfully do that. Is there anything else you'd like to do before getting a rest? You can still see that pinprick of the lightning at the front of the Relentless. You're steadily getting closer.
More. I don't know whether you still have the sort of arcane energy in you, but you wouldn't still be able to send that message for me, would you?
No, I'm bleeding out, but I can do spells.
You don't need to make me feel guilty about it, but yes, I will if that's what you want. All right. Shall we head below, maybe? I rather like the hammocks.
I say, yes, I need to get my clothes back. And that.
Right.
Okay, so
Ward is the best of us.
you head downstairs to where there's hammocks and seats, that kind of thing.
Aoife,
Yes.
do you ever attack with your staff?
I mean, occasionally, if I run out of spells, I just go.
Clonk.
Okay.
It's not my. I'm not very strong.
You know, would you prefer just maybe a little bit better armor?
I would. Well, I'm not. Because of the way I do. I don't wear metal.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, okay.
I can work with that. It's leather armor, right?
Yes, this is leather.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank. Is this to make up for the portable hole thing?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. I know. I understand why you had to do it.
Yeah.
In the end, it was pointless and it didn't mean nothing, but it's fine.
Yeah, I didn't know that thing could fly.
Yeah.
Matt, is Matt using some of his abilities as an artificer?
Yeah. So when I rest at the end of that, I will. I don't have to change my prosthetic arm. That will continue to be a magic item, but I will drop the +1 that was on one of Rudy's weapons, and I will add it to the armor, so that it's on Aoife's armor instead. So you will have +1 leather armor.
Sick. Oh, that makes me so drunk.
So Rudy
By
has
chunk, I mean 15.
Rudy has psychic back in owl mode. Mac has made Aoife's armor, has improved Aoife's armor with his artificer abilities, and in the lower deck, Ward and Mukt.
Imagine sort of on hammocks, like opposite each other, so just sort of like doing the gentle swinging, like. I imagine that Ward has asked you to send a message to this person before. I sort of imagine that's, yes, to Meriden de Orion. Orion, Chloe?
I'm saying Orion.
Orion.
Not
Dorian.
quite sure.
You know, when we've done this before, sometimes I have sort of 24 words and sometimes I've got 48. Have I got sort of 24 or something more 48?
Yeah, you can do double. It's good. I'm remembering.
Thank you.
And no improvising or singing like Les. I know I always ask, but just.
Yes, well, you know, got to try and keep it to the point. Yes, yeah, nothing too frilly. They won't believe that it's me. Okay, Meriden, I hope you're well, and have done your reading. I won't be able to get home tonight. I'm going on another adventure. I promise I'll tell you about it after. I'm so sorry. I'm sure if you ask your father, he'll tell you a story instead.
One day, Grace, you're going to play a character that doesn't make me cry. One day.
Grace,
But it is not this day.
What does Meriden call? Does Meriden just call Ward, or like Mukt's Ward, or Ward?
Yeah, Yeah, I feel Meriden would just call Ward.
Okay. A few minutes pass, and then Mukt, obviously, presumably relaying this to Ward, gets back a message. Hello, Ward. Okay. I'll miss you. And Father doesn't do voices like you do, but okay. Have a really good adventure and use your exhaust ports for the flying thing. See you soon. Is what you get. So, I'm happy to say that you're able to kind of steer the ship and keep it in the right direction overnight, whilst, like, if you're rotating, and I mean, Ward doesn't need sleep, and such, like, so you can all treat yourselves to a long rest. We're using slight action movie logic in this, so a long rest is a little bit shorter than 8 hours in this universe for us, but you still managed to get one. Who would be flying the ship, or manning it, or piloting it?
I think Rudy would do it for a bit, and like if left alone, will it basically just stay on a course?
It would stay on a course for a little while. After some time, if it's not given instructions, and it doesn't have like a dragon marked pilot kind of guiding it, I'm going to say it is going to get a bit erratic.
Okay.
So you'd need to have someone at least there just to make sure everything's working.
Yeah. But I'm thinking after Rudy's done it for a while, can leave somebody there for a bit to kind of.
Yeah, I'm not going to be super mean.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if possible, I'd quite like Aoife to sort of, around her kind of nap, sort of mind link with the elemental, and sort of just be chatting.
It's yeah, because it's any creature.
We don't speak the same language, but they have to speak a language.
And is it creature or humanoid or monster? What's the definition there?
I shall look it up here. Any creature you see within 50 feet of you.
Ooh, cool.
Okay.
That's very cool.
So, yeah, you kind of, whilst you're in that state, you mind link with the elemental.
Like, hello. Sorry, my friend was a bit rough with you earlier. The threatening with the hammer.
It's okay.
You all right? You enjoying flying a ship?
Yes. I like the tree.
You like the tree?
Yes.
I'm glad. It has I think an important person to you, though you might not really realise that inside of it. Miss it? Yeah, I guess she sort of is missing. I haven't really been in the kind of... I've never been on one of these things before. I didn't really know that people did this to elementals.
They do.
Are you happy?
Not sure what happy is.
No, I don't think you're alone in that. Look, you have a pass. After we go, we're going to be gone soon. You have a passenger on here. Hopefully he's going to disembark fairly soon. But if you could sort of maybe not kill him by smashing into a mountain or something, because we've made some promises. But
we'll try.
Then it's sort of your ship after that. So you can. I wouldn't go back to the city. Is all I'm saying.
No cities, only trees.
There are some good trees if you head sort of the direction we're going, really. You might be able to find some people that can free you.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to sleep now. Got to go. I've never been in a train. It'll be exciting. I wonder if there are elementals on trains.
Cool. And that kind of fades out. So you get your rest. Time passes. Dawn begins to break, and Rudy has Rudy handed over the ship controls?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. And is that's to Ward, since Ward doesn't have to sleep?
Sure.
Okay. So yes, Ward, you're at the controls of the ship. Obviously, your line of sight is partially blocked by a big tree, but you can see around it, and especially at night, you can see the electricity that is around that front car of that train. You start getting closer and closer. You can see that the train is having to make arcs and curves that obviously you as an airship aren't having to make, and so you just stay in that straight line. And as dawn starts to break, you're actually quite close. You'd estimate like a few hundred feet, maybe 1,000 odd or so. Like, you've managed to sneak up quite close in the cover of darkness, but dawn does start to break, and you feel that warmth of that light on your skin. The kind of freshness of the dawn air comes in, but you might also feel a little bit exposed. And you hear and you can see kind of some small flicker of an explosion from the core of that train. You'd say it's maybe 7 or 8 carriages long from this distance. It's hard to tell precisely. And you just hear this whoosh, and as it goes wide, but a cannon just straight past the airship. And you can see the slight movement of a turret that seems to have a cannon focused on the ship.
Everybody up! Everybody up! No! Well. I'm going to message the elemental spirit. Oh, I don't think I speak primordial though, so it probably
the mind link is gives a lot.
Yeah, because it does more. Yeah. But I imagine sort of Aoife gave an idea of the fact that the elemental was something that was communicable, and just sort of go evasive maneuvers because I was like, whoa.
Roll me an intimidation or a persuasion check. Your choice.
Oh, I'd rather do. I think Ward's a bit more persuasion than intimidation. Even though I'm a lot more intimidating than I am persuasive. Thank you, because this is how I play Dungeons and Dragons. But sometimes the dice roll a 19.
Okay.
Even though you don't add anything to that.
So you feel the ship begin to kind of bank and turn, still keeping the rough straight line, but at least dodging a little bit.
Yeah.
And this time, however, a shot comes much, much closer. It just misses, but you feel that as you're getting closer to that train, obviously that train is closer to you, and they are able to aim much more sharply. I'm going to ask everyone to please roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is as you're kind of being woken up by Ward shouting, "Get up!"
Yeah.
Anyone over 20?
I got 20 flat.
Cool. 15 to 20? 10 to 15?
Great.
Yeah, 14.
14 as well.
Was that 2 14s?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your initiative mod?
3.
+5.
Okay, so
you definitely go before me.
and then Mac, 5 to 10. What did Rudy have?
3. I rolled a 1.
Oh, rough.
Grace, did you just hold up 0?
No, I just went. That was nice. I rolled an 11. I said.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I think I said it at the same time as both Pav and Matt spoke.
No worries. Okay, so Aoife, it's your turn first. You are all of you who are sleeping are on the middle deck. You can get up to the top deck, but at the moment, what you might have heard like the whoosh, but other than that, you've just been hearing Ward shouting.
It's not the most convenient thing, but Eva is one of my good characters, damn it. So I'm actually going to go to Holden and give him a featherfall token.
Cool. You can slip it into his hand. He is still tied up, just so you're aware.
I don't want him necessarily to escape during this fight and fuck everything up, so I'm actually just going to take a dagger, and just put it in the room and be like, this ship falls, draw the featherfall token. If not, you can free yourself using that, but it's going to take you some time. And then I'm going to leave. So he's going to saw through his own rope, so I'm hoping to buy us some time.
Thanks, Spider. Okay, thanks. Just says that back to you. Okay, so you've done a couple of things with objects. You run down and you run back up, so you're now on the middle deck. Mucked.
Oh, I want to run up to the top deck and see the train is close, and they're kind of saying, and I say, ah, and then I look at Ward, it's my action, and as my bonus action, I look at Ward and I say, Ward, you have magical abilities, use them well. And I give you bardic inspiration.
Thank you, Ward. I will endeavour to do so.
Okay, what would you like to do with your action?
I don't know. What can I do?
You can ready an action if you want to.
Okay, I will ready the action. I guess hit anything that is close with a rapier. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah, if anything comes near,
that's fine.
Probably know that we all need to get off the ship, and sort of we all need to get onto the.
Yeah. Mac, what would you like to do?
Okay, so are we over the train yet? Are we just getting towards the train? What's our situation?
You're not quite over the train yet.
Okay.
You'd guess you've maybe got anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds, because you are moving ridiculously fast. Airships move hundreds of feet around. And especially with evasive maneuvers, you're kind of really feeling that speed because you're getting slightly rocked around.
Very Star Trek.
You're not quite, but you're just about to catch up to the end of the train where it's realistic you could maybe get on.
Okay. I'm going to position myself. I'm going to use my movement to come back so that when we're closer next round, I am going to run forwards to leap off and try and get on the train, assuming that looks like it's feasibly possible next round. So okay. I move back so that I have a good run to jump off the front of this thing.
Cool. And just remember, you're also quite high up. You're not level with the train or anything. It's a big old fall. Ward.
God. Okay. I need to mechanically, Chloe. Is there anything that we can do to steer the ship to get it into a more optimal position?
Because it's an airship, the only thing you can do is persuasion or intimidation on the elemental.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's mechanically what there is.
Okay, but that would probably be better left to someone slightly more charismatic than Ward. Okay. I would like to. I guess. If I hold my action to cast Featherfall, and we're not ready to jump next round, I'll waste the spell. Is the only thing that I'm thinking.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that at least a few of you aren't going to be ready to jump next round.
Mm-hmm. Talking's a free action, remember. If you want to communicate anything to anyone else.
Right. Right. So we need to position ourselves over the train so that when we jump, we're just going to go straight down. Remember, all we need to go at the same time, and then I'll be able to slow us so that we don't plunge to our death. Oh gosh, how far are we from the turret?
From the turret, you are probably about roughly 300 feet or so.
300 foot? That's so far.
That's not even accounting for. It's about 300 feet-ish.
Okay. Well, I can't do anything to that. Okay. I'm like, right, there's a turret shooting. I'm ready to. I guess I might as well try and persuade the thing because I haven't got anything else to do with this action. So I'm going to turn to the elemental and say, right, okay, we have to get above the ship and then above the train and keep going straight, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, Rudy, up next.
There's a 10 on my persuasion check, if that was anything. Sorry. It's a 10.
Okay. There isn't any immediate response there, but we're still just kind of doing like evasive maneuvers.
Yeah.
So I think Rudy's last because Rudy has still been asleep, and as the ship starts doing evasive maneuvers, falls out of our hammock, and with Sidekick there, kind of nuzzling at her, making like weird hooting noises, like an owl, and yeah, so they both run up to the deck. And so Rudy runs over to the wheel as well, hearing Ward, and just kind of grabs the wheel and leans down and whispers at the shard, or not whispers, but like really kind of like intensely, look, I know you don't like us, and well, we're looking to be off this ship pretty damn soon, so but the longer it is until you catch up with that train, the longer we're going to be here, and the more likelihood that you're going to get hit by a cannon. So I want pardon me, I want to do that as intimidation.
Okay, yeah. roll me intimidation.
So that's 22.
Sweet.
That's definitely worked, and you all feel this kind of like pulse of as there's an extra push of energy, and you feel kind of the wind hit you a little bit harder, and you feel kind of the G-force against your bodies as you push further forward. But there is another explosive sound. There is another explosive sound, and you hear this loud crack of this burst of wood because one of the cannon just goes straight through one of the struts that is around the ship that holds that circle of air elemental in place. Now, there are still a couple of struts that are there, but you suddenly feel this huge lurch, and I'm going to need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Shit.
So I have advantage on
things you can see.
Yeah.
Yep, you've got danger sense. Use it.
Oh.
You definitely you saw the cannon coming.
So that 22. No, sorry, 21.
Okay.
19 for Ward.
13. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to go down a bit. 3.
Okay. So Eva got 13.
3.
12.
Okay.
Sorry, does Sidekick need to do a separate one, or?
Yeah. Shall I do one for?
Yeah. Can you make something for Psychic and Falchion?
Yeah.
I presume Psychic is in owl mode. So, how does Falchion do?
But Falchion's awesome, obviously. So Falchion gets 17. No, actually, it's more than that because they have they get 19.
Okay. And
Sidekick only gets 4. Sorry, 5.
Okay.
Psychics also can fly, technically. So
yeah, I think what happens is Psychic probably starts like skidding, but then starts bouncing around in that acrobatic way you've mentioned.
Cool.
Since Sidekick's able to fly.
Yep.
Everyone apart from Mac succeeds, and you're able just to kind of hold yourself steady as the entire airship just like rocks and pitches. However, you rolled really low. You rolled severely low below the threshold, and probably because you're wearing so much heavy armor, you just on the floor and you slide down the deck, and you are left crumpled in a heap right at the edge. And you are almost pitched over the edge, but you are just at the edge of the ship's deck, right near the front, near the tree.
Okay.
And you can feel just the chaos of this. You can kind of feel that there is still a pull, there is still a clear drag, because this air elemental is on your side and it's now had a more direct threat towards it. And you are almost in a position where this has sent you pitching, and you are now starting to hurtle more and more downwards towards the train itself. Aoife, your first
Okay.
up, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm still on the middle deck because I went down, so I will run up to the top deck. Where do we seem to be congregating for the big old jump? Was there a particular?
Well, Mac had got himself in a position.
Yeah.
No longer.
Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, it seems like jumping off from near the tree makes as much sense as any. So I'll run up to the tree and sort of. I'd like to kind of jump up on the side and like loop my arm around like one of the branches. I've got something like hold on to, and I'm basically just holding my action until the time comes to jump.
Okay, loving that image.
Yeah.
Pav.
Okay, Mucht is going to run up and stand behind Aoife, so that if a cannon shoots, it hits Aoife and not Mucht. And then doesn't say it out loud. That's just what Mucht did. Do you know what I mean? And then I've ready the action jump off. Apparently, if that's what we're doing.
Okay, you're ready just to do that. Cool. Mac and Falchion, you're in a bundle, in a heap.
Yeah. So is it my movement to stand?
Half
my
your movement to
like
get up.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get up, but I'm because the ship is doing that now. I'm going to get up in that position where you kind of have your feet like that, so I'm not going to slide down again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go back a little bit, and then I'm also ready to jump forward and get off this thing.
Okay. What's Falchion doing?
And Falchion,
doing the same?
Falchion comes alongside me and is kind of spring-loaded, waiting to do exactly the same thing.
I can only do 5 creatures.
You remember, one of you, well, Aoife's given away her feather token. 2 of you confiscated feather tokens from the others on the ship, just as a note.
Yes, I have one.
Rudy, it's Ward. So you're kind of trying to get everyone to jump.
How close are we to the train? Are we like almost over it?
Yeah.
Does it look like everyone's going to be able to jump soon?
It's only going to take Rudy's movement to get to the other side of the ship.
Okay. How
And you
close
don't
are we
know
to the
when they're
turret
next
now?
going to shoot.
Yeah. How close are we to the turret now?
To the turret now? Oh,
Yeah.
you are with like around probably about 100 feet or so.
Okay, what I'd like to do is you see that sort of ripple of flame sort of heat up the metal as it travels down Ward's hand and gather this sort of like spark of flame, and I'm going to firebolt the turret. I want to get the cannon, not like the back end of it where there are people.
Yeah.
I want to try and destroy the turret.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll. Is Firebolt attack roll?
Yes.
Okay, roll an attack roll for Firebolt.
Oh no. That's a 10. I rolled a 2.
There's so many factors happening here. You've got this ship which is pitching and moving. You've got the train which is also moving, and you've got the fact that the turret is kind of having to spin to make sure it can attack you.
Cool.
And this Firebolt just goes wide.
Okay. I will prepare myself to jump and then use my reaction to cast Feather Fall when Rudy does.
Okay, Rudy, it's you and Sidekick.
Yeah, I think if I notice everybody getting ready, so Rudy runs over and joins everybody and jumps with everyone, as does Sidekick.
So, you can feel just the pressure and the force of air in front of you as the ship is pushing forward, as the train is driving forward in front of you. Are you all jumping?
Yeah, I guess. Fuck.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
Ward, who are you casting Featherfall on?
Okay, so I know that Mucht has a feather token.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god! But also, do you need to have a held action to use a feather token?
Feather tokens, I believe, are just automatic because a lot of it comes from being in Shan.
Okay. Cool.
I can solve this, actually. I didn't use my action, so my action is I jump off, I have a feather token which I activate, and Sidekick comes with me.
Okay, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Rudy does that like an absolute baller,
Yeah,
just like going past everyone.
Because
jumps.
Rudy shows true leadership. So yeah, here we all jump off, and it's the same sort of like gather of the explosive wind. Very cool. It comes from the exhaust and sort of like almost frisbee in a disc underneath the four of us, and also underneath Falchion, and we just sort of start dropping still fairly quickly down towards the train.
Okay, so you all leap off the top of this. I'm gonna ask you to make me dexterity saves, just because you're still having to angle yourselves. You're still having to get this right. Even though you're not going to take damage because of Featherfall.
Yeah. Is it any easier because there's a spell that slows their movement?
Oh no!
I will say that you get advantage because
you have advantage.
You get
Oh my
advantage
god!
because you've got Featherfall.
Okay.
So you've got a little bit more
I was
time
about to
to
eat
think,
ground.
to move, to kind of reach and such. Like, it's not going quite as fast. What is everyone's save?
I would say also, Ward, I don't know if you've used it, but you have.
I know I've got it, but I've so far rolled okay.
So Rudy's is a 13.
Okay. And Sidekick is just basically flying down.
Yeah.
Do we all have advantage? Just in case I roll better.
You're all under Featherfall. So
Okay, cool. Yeah.
18.
18, cool.
18 for me as well.
Yeah, 15 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty good. 19 so far for Falchion. Yeah, 19.
19 for Ward as well.
Falchion's awesome at this stuff. Yeah.
Amazing rolls, and very fortunate you had that Featherfall.
Yeah.
So you all just leap off the front of this ship, which is still doing kind of weird banking evasive maneuvers, but is slowly careening out of control, but just being held together by this air elemental. You leap onto what is actually, it's the rear cart of the train is identical to the front cart, only facing backwards. And half of you fall onto the cow catcher, is what it's called, at the front, the little pilot, like the snowplow kind of grate, and you just latch onto that, and a couple of you end up on the roof of this carriage. Now, it's still not easy, but you are on the Relentless, very literally so. And you can see, as you have a few seconds of pause there, that this airship is careening, but it's just being able to hold itself together, even though it's kind of staggering down and then pulling back up. And because I rolled for it, you see a small hatch in the cargo hold open, and a tiny figure float out and in the middle of this plane. And
Is he? He's a sort of comedy bad guy. So does he jump out thinking like I'm fine, and then he lands in like a massive sewer car or something?
Let's fine.
I think what it is he's just like, oh thank God, oh yes, and then jumps and then lands and then just has a moment of looking around, sees a train going into the distance several hundred feet a second, looks back, just a plane, can't see anything, see mountains over there. Oh Holden, how are you gonna get yourself out of this one? And with Holden
And the camera
there,
smash cuts back.
and with all of you gripping onto the exterior of the rear of the Relentless as it still powers ahead, you can see the lightning up ahead at the head of the carriages just flickering away, and all of you being battered by the wind that's in your faces. That is where we're going to pause for the break.
Yeah.
So we will be back in like 5 to 10 minutes
Nice.
and see how we do.
Yeah.
Now we're actually on the train.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hello and welcome back to Eberron Terminus, where the party are now on the train.
Yeah!
Quite literally, because they are on the pilot / cowcatcher / grid at the front and also on top of it. So you are currently on top of the Relentless. From being down here, you can see that actually the window of this crew cart that would normally look out the front of the train if it wasn't currently at the rear is smashed open, destroyed. You can try to either get in through crawling through that gap, or there is a door, a sliding door on the side, but it means anchoring yourselves down the side and trying to open it. How would you like to actually get inside this train?
Well, if there's an opening here, perhaps we should just climb through the gap. Does it look like there's anyone in the pilot cabin at the front?
Roll me perception.
But I'm not good at that. I did that thing that happens very rarely in D&D when you roll a 0.
I think
I rolled a 2 and then I -2 from it. So
I'm going to say that Ward is one of the individuals, the party members, who's on the top and is having to crane
can't see
down
it.
and underneath to try and look. So it's just not physically working for you right now.
Ward, what do your warforged eyes see?
absolutely nothing. I can't see a damn thing.
Rudy flips down her goggles and sidekick stealths inside the train.
Nice.
Yeah.
So in owl mode gets a +3 to stealth,
Nice.
and that's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, you barely even see Sidekick disappear with a stealth roll like that, just pinging around.
In fact, can I say Sidekick literally just sort of vanishes like Predator style.
Nice. And you can see through Sidekick's eyes?
See and hear.
and
But
hear.
I am effectively, Rudy is effectively blind and deaf, so it's just holding on to the train.
Okay, that's terrifying. What you can see and hear, Rudy, you can see that the inside of this crew cart has been smashed to pieces. There's no one who seems to be in here. There's kind of a control desk near where the smashed window is that has been, it looks like someone's taken a maul or an axe to it. And you also see that there's kind of half open boxes and crates further down the carriage. You don't see any individuals in there. But you do actually, you can now hear something. You can't quite tell where it's coming from as Sidekick, but through that you just hear, right, August, Ethan, sweep the carriages. And then, is that really necessary? It is. It looks like they went down with the airship, but we cannot be too careful. If you do find anyone who shouldn't be here, uncouple the carriages, just jettison them, rather than letting anyone move further forward, okay? Or I could tell Vakri that you don't think it's necessary. Okay, on it, doing it. And you just hear that.
Okay.
You're all still, unless anyone's moved, you're all still just holding on outside this train.
I know you said Psychic couldn't tell, but Psychic actually is way better at perception than Rudy is. Particularly in Owl mode has a +3 to perception. So
Can you roll me Arcana? For basically
Arcana?
understanding what Psychic
that's a
is.
natural 1.
Cool. Sidekick is looking at all these pipes and these springs that are hanging down and these little mechanical doodads and things. So you can see that it seems to be coming from that, but you've no idea what that is.
Okay, but
it's not coming from an individual there.
Right, cool. That's all I need to know. So Rudy flips her goggles up. Guys, it looks like we're all clear.
We can go. You think we're going to be up to? I'm imagining everyone sort of shouting over the blasting wind. Aoife's hair is flying. Ward's coat is as we grip on very dramatically. You think we're going to be able to? If we get down there, no one's going to no one's going to be looking for us.
Oh, people are looking for us, but there's nobody in that carriage right now. So maybe we should get inside instead of clinging on for dear life.
Well, actually, I don't really need to hang on for dear life. And I would like to cast Spider Climb.
Nice.
And kind of with that, you sort of see that if it just sort of essentially stands up away from the carriage, I just kind of want to walk along the top of the train to where I can see like the gaps between the carriage and just see if anyone's coming through into that last carriage.
Okay.
So like lying down the front, like.
Cool. And Spider Climb just basically like you just automatically stick to that, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah. I become a spider. I don't become a spider. I could become a spider, but I don't in this situation.
Walking along, you're on the top of the carriage. You can see that there's kind of maybe 7 or 8 carriages. The second from the front looks different, but you can't quite tell why. But you can see that between the carriages, between all of them, there are small ledges outside the carriage doors where the trains are coupled. And it's about 4 carriages down that you see a bit of movement, as though people are starting to move back.
Okay. I'd like to cast Mind Link on Rudy. Not cast, just use Mind Link on Rudy and just say, I can see them. They're 4 carriages up.
Can Rudy respond to that?
Yes, if I use an action, and we're not an initiative, so yes, you can talk to me telepathically as well. Hello.
They're heading this way?
They're heading this way. But I'm thinking, what if we wait for them to come into that carriage, I drop down behind them, and then we surround them inside the carriage?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Do you repeat this out loud?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, perhaps maybe if we wait for them to get into the last carriage and then just uncouple it, and then they can piss off.
I like that idea.
That also
That's a
does
brilliant
work.
idea.
Can you all join me up here?
We can try.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Okay, so none of you have Spider Climb. I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to actually climb your way onto the top of this. Sidekick obviously can kind of fly. Since he's in out mode.
Still got.
So for Rudy, that's a 21.
Okay. Yeah.
Athletics. Actually, not terrible.
Go
I'm going.
Hey, go on.
I was just saying I'm going to use my inspiration.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
What did Mook get?
19.
19, and Mac?
Can I, before Mac goes up, if Mac aids Felsham, will Felsham do it with advantage?
So
kind of
as in,
pushes-
like, using help to help Falchion? Okay, sure.
Yeah. I'm more worried about Felsham falling off than I am, even though
Fair.
they're better at all this. But 7, I think it's just going to be, so it's going to be 12 with
Okay.
advantage.
Is that for Falchion?
That's a Felsham.
And for you?
I've not, well, I'll go when everyone else has gone, basically.
For what it's worth, I'd probably be standing on the edge and sort of pulling people up as they sort of get close.
Okay, so Rudy, you're super swift, you're really capable and able in this, and you just yourself onto the top of the carriage. What did Ward roll?
19. Well, I rolled a 13, and then inspiration happened. So thank you very much, Mook.
Yeah.
You remember how immensely capable you are.
I can do this.
Yeah, I want to revise Felsham because they actually have a skill in athletics. So there's an extra 5 on that. So that was 17, not 12.
Okay, cool. And what did Mook get again?
19.
19, same time as Ward. You're kind of getting yourselves up there.
Cool.
And Mac.
So final one is, sorry, I think I'm yeah, I am. So that's 17 for me as well.
Smashed it. Good job, everyone.
Everyone's able to just about get yourselves up there. Rudy / G, is Sidekick staying inside there, or is Sidekick coming up?
Yeah, no, sorry. I think Sidekick comes out and
Yeah.
is flying
Okay.
around. Basically, it's like runs along the side of the carriage. It's kind of magnetic feet along the side of the carriage.
Nice. You're all either stood or kind of crouched on top of this carriage. Oh, that's a one. As you are standing and you see it kind of, you're on top, Aoife is keeping an eye out for those individuals, and suddenly there's an imperfection in the line, in the rocks that are laid to make this lightning line. I rolled for it. I knew at some point you would decide to stand on the top of a train. And the train is slightly rocked. I'm going to need deck saves from everyone apart from Aoife, who is spider climbing.
Okay.
I
As
got
again,
27.
27, nice. Remember,
Wow.
you are moving hundreds of feet per second at the moment, so even just kind of staying still is taking some effort from you.
Yeah, it's
27 from Mukt.
It's pretty good. It's 11 for me. Oh man, it's so much better than me. This. It's a dirty 20 for Felshin.
Okay.
Alshin is outclassing you at everything.
Yeah, I know. Amazing.
15 for Rudy.
Okay, Rudy, and
16 for Ward.
okay.
Can I, because I didn't need to roll, can I instead like help Mac if I see him falling, but like grabbing like his arm or something?
Unfortunately, that's not like a reaction that you can take in terms of
Fair. I
this
tried.
stuff. And indeed, Mac, you and you are on the edge. You are able to just hold on to one of the outcroppings on this, but you are now on the edge, and if you were to like let your body slide, your feet would start dragging on the ground, and it's not going to be
Wow.
pretty. What do you want to do? I'm good. Like, you have an action, and I
Okay.
might start pushing this into initiative.
Well, I want to. Not only am I going to try and claw my way back up, but Felshin is going to come and grab my metallic arm and drag me back onto the train.
Okay. So I guess that's a strength check from Falchion
I
at
guess. So.
advantage because you're trying to
Yeah.
hoof up as well, and you all see like the train just rock and Mac go flying.
Okay.
I'd like to.
It's going to be
I'd-
good. It's fine. It's a 19, the first one. So. Oh, it's a natural 20. That was a 19.
Hey!
So there you go. Felshin is the best.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You'd be so
Between
psyched
dog
about
and master.
your- God.
You Falchion just brings you back up, but you're now a little bit more aware of quite what this is. Maybe safer
Yeah.
than some things, but being on top of here is not safe.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Either you see individuals go through the next carriage. They are 1 or 2 carriages away. 2 carriages away now. Is there anything any of you want to do whilst you're waiting for them to get here?
Did we establish that Ward is connected to this family and so knows a little bit about how the trains work?
I have connections to the Orion
Yes.
family.
It's the, it's
so
their
would
lightning
understand
route.
a little bit about the trains.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if we understand what we need to do to uncouple or all that stuff. Like
We
like
just sort of
I,
assumed.
like I imagine in my head, because Ward takes care of, is it the young boy of the house?
A young non-binary person.
Yeah, okay. So I imagine they have a train set that's like a version of this thing, the large thing, because it's like what Dad does for a living, right? So
That's adorable.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for in this moment?
I want to ask Ward and say, do you have? Is there anything you know about these trains that is going to help us uncouple this carriage when these people get to this point?
Can you roll me a constitution check? And this is for how strong your lungs are, because you are having to, especially when you're on the top of the train, shout over the sound of lightning crackling from the front, the wind rushing past your ear. That's the kind of situation you're in.
Okay. Is it a con save? It's just con
Con
check.
check.
Con check. Okay.
Literally for like how big your lungs are at this point.
How loud you can yell.
It's 11.
11. Can't fully hear. Mac is trying to shout something, but you don't know what it is.
But perhaps we underestimated the serious danger of being up here. I think perhaps if we get inside, I don't need to breathe. So I.
Yeah. Do you have message? Did you message earlier?
Yeah, I do have message.
I do this to you.
Yes, Mac, and message you. Perhaps we should go inside.
Yeah,
you can
because I get to reply with message, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I say, is there anything you know from working with this family that will help us uncouple this train? Do you know about this train?
Would I know how to uncouple the train, Chloe?
That kind of thing is that's something a manual worker would know. I mean, I'll let you, if you want roll history, it's going to be a high DC.
Luckily, I'm a wizard. A wizard who rolled an 8 plus 8, so I rolled a 16.
Aoife, they're in the next carriage.
Okay.
2 people.
I kind of gesture. I can still talk to Rudy through mind lakes. I'm going to say, you need to get across to the next carriage, because if we uncouple this and you're still on it, you'll be gone down the track as well.
Okay. Oh, this is going to end so badly. We're such dumbasses. Okay. We've done it now.
Pav, you've had your hand up.
Yes. Can I message Rudy, because Rudy was the one that told. I think it was Rudy that's mentioned about the plan about decoupling that I heard. Is that right? I'm trying to remember who. Yeah, because from EFO, from the Mind Link.
Yeah.
Yes. I message Rudy and I say, Rudy, I don't know how we uncouple, but you said that they were going to uncouple, so maybe we watch them uncouple and then we'll know how to uncouple.
Is this messaging or is this shouting?
Messaging.
Cool.
You may reply.
Try to keep track of who's messaging and what mind links are having.
Yeah, it's very confusing for you right now. There's a lot going on.
I mean, I just assumed that whoever suggested uncoupling the train knew how to uncouple the train.
At that point, is someone jumping because someone was instructed to jump to the other carriage? Is that happening?
I think we all need to. Chloe, sorry, you didn't say with the 16 whether I would know how to uncouple the train or not.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said you rolled an 8.
I've got plus 8.
I rolled an 8. I have plus 8. I rolled a 16.
You know that it's relatively simple. You've had it described. You don't know exactly, but you're pretty sure that if you can at least get a look at it, you'll be all right. Okay, if everyone's going to jump because they are in the next carriage, I'm going to need everyone. I mean, you can make... I think all of you except Mukt are able to make a standing jump. You have sufficiently high strength for that, because I checked all your jumps. But it is about 5 feet between carriages. So Mukt, if you're going to get there, you have to go back and you have to make a running jump.
Does anyone think that they're not going to be able to take it, be able to make it? Because I can zip us over there with a little bit of jiggery pokery, but if not, I'd rather save my energy. But I can. You're
going to have about 5 seconds before they come through, and they are probably going to spot.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I said, help me, help.
Fine. Oh wait, no. It's just Misty Step. Oh, I can't. Sorry. Yeah. It's just Misty.
Can I? Because I've got spider climb. I'm steadier on my feet, so can I sort of like stand on the edge of the train and as much goes like throw him?
That would be strength. Over. That would be you having to be strong, I'm afraid. G.
Rudy turns to Mukt and just kind of grabs him. Sorry, is Mukt what form is Mukt in at the moment?
I'm Franz, because I'm normally always Franz, so him is Franz.
Okay, so Franz.
Grabs him and just kind of signals with my eyes in a, I can half throw you across this. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to give it a go?
I look back with my eyes and say, help me.
Okay.
You're going to need to go now. So
I help.
Can I please...
Is this me throwing with advantage or a jump?
I feel like given
jumping with
your
advantage?
Strength versus Mux, this is you making me strength with advantage, because it's more like Mook springing off, but you really providing that drive.
It's a shame you're not in Gerthin's form, because then you could do nobody tosses a dwarf.
That's a 21.
21. Nice. So you do actually just punt Mooks basically in as Franz, and you manage to land on the next carriage. It's bumpy and it's unpleasant, but you are safe. I need everyone else's rolls.
19 for Ward.
19.
Athletics, right?
Athletics again.
Yeah. This is just to make sure you've got enough kind of strength and control, because I know what your jump lengths are.
I rolled a 7, but I have got spider climb on, so do I get some kind of advantage?
I'll come to you in a sec.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah.
10.
I rolled 14. Oh my god, this dog's amazing. And that's another dirty 20 for Felshin.
Okay, so Falchion just arcs over incredibly gracefully, dunk, lands on there. However, that's noisy. The people who are inside that carriage have just heard some weird dunk from on top. And you can probably judge that because it is loud when Falchion lands down. Ward kind of gracefully arcs over behind. Aoife, you try to jump. What happens is you don't quite make the jump, but because you're in spider climb, your feet stick to the front facing outer wall of the next carriage, so you're now just kind of stuck between carriages. You'll need to move if you're not going to get spotted in that position. What was Muck and Rudy's rolls again?
Mine was 14.
14.
Mine was 10.
Cool. Mac, it isn't graceful, but you get the job done, just powering over. Rudy, you do make it, but you land really badly and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
As you just fall into the top of this train carriage. Right. It's hard because I keep wanting to do cutaways to inside this train carriage. There is a brief moment, and then you start hearing sounds.
Chloe, as I start hearing sounds like that, Ward is just going to sort of frown again, and that sort of sheet metal armor is going to unfold over them again, and I'm going to cast mage armor on myself.
Okay, you cast mage armor. I'm going to say it feels fairest. Everyone, please roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker.
That's a 14 for Rudy. Oh no, sorry. You do it the other way.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Ignore me for now.
Okay, 20s and above.
23.
Okay. 15 to 20.
16.
17.
Ward and Mac. 10 to 15.
14.
What's Aoife got?
5. How the turns have tabled.
Okay, so
They're stuck on the side of a carriage.
you hear a couple of arguing voices from within the carriage, but Mux, you get to go first.
Cool. If I can, I don't know how, because obviously there's always moving stuff. I want to ideally get to the other end of the carriage and drop down.
Okay, the carriage, moving across it in that way, it's going to be difficult terrain. So you'll be able to only go 15 feet. If you use your action, you can go 30 feet. But the carriage is 60 feet long. With your jump, I'd say you're about kind of 45 feet from the end.
Okay. It doesn't, based on what I've seen of this train, it doesn't seem like I could drop, like it's a clever idea to drop down the side and try and go through a window necessarily. Like that to me, in terms of how do I understand that, like from what I've seen when we were coming up to the train and all that stuff, are the windows big? Are they broken? Like how easy would they be to go?
Some are broken. They'd all be a little bit difficult in terms of size to get through. But you are aware of, you would have seen that there's kind of gaps with ledges between the carriages.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go down towards the other end of the carriage. Just use the action to dash as well. Just get there.
Dash, and you're able just to grab on to different bits and pieces and make your way down the top of this train. Is there any bonus you'd like to use?
I'm going to say because of the physical circumstances that I can't really be heard and inspire anyone, so I'm just going to say no.
Okay, I respect that honesty. Okay, let's see how this goes. This is going to be hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Falchion makes 5, and I'm going to roll a d6. Rudy, it doesn't manage to injure you, but between your legs, poof, the bolt of a hand crossbow pierces through the top of the train carriage, having evidently just been shot up from inside. That's what happens there. Yeah, that's all that happens from them there, and it's Ward's turn, and you hear this just punching through.
And they're coming through the... Okay, so what do I think is the easiest way to get into the train?
There are 2 entrances, one at either end.
One.
You are closer to... Mukt has, as Franz has run to the far end. You are slightly closer to one of them. Okay,
what I'd like to... There was a window, you said?
There are windows at the sides, yes.
Yeah. Okay, what I'd like to do is go backwards, go down towards the window, on closer to us. What do I see through the window?
So you're clambering down onto one of the ledges
do
between
I need to,
things?
Okay. Yes, yeah.
Cool. With the amount of movement you have, you can just get to the end and then hop down.
Okay.
You look through. It's a little bit dirtied, it's a little bit muddied, as is most of the train. It's kind of battered, brown and rusty metal. You can see what looks like 2 individuals. They're wearing some leather or metal armor that's got green detailing on it. Both have hand crossbows, and you think you can see some other holstered weapons.
Okay. I'm going to look through the window and do the Ward special, plunge my hand forward, and a huge hand erupts through the bottom, and I'm going to try and pin one of them to the ground, and then I'm going to step to the side so that I'm not blocking the window for everyone else.
Okay, what's my saving on that?
Your saving throw, I think, is a strength DC 16.
That is a 16 on the dice, so that is a 17.
Okay,
so
whatever.
Coming out of all these wires, these plates, and
what is the floor made of, Chloe?
It's made of grates, metal, and underneath that, so you're walking over various tubings, various piping, all that kind of stuff. So it all just mangles up, but it is blocking a lot of the interior of this carriage. However, both of them just slink out of the way of it. And you actually probably, how big is this hand?
5 foot. It's medium.
Cool. It doesn't puncture the ceiling or anything, but it is now just in the middle of all of that. Is there any bonus you'd like to use?
No.
Okay.
No.
On to...
I have stepped to the side though, so that if someone wanted to get past me in, they can do that.
Cool. Mac, you and Falchion.
Yep. So Falchion will go after me, so let's do me first. I am going to look at, did this bolt stick into the top of the train, or did it go straight through and away?
This one has stuck into the top, it's jutting out of it right now.
Okay, so I am going to put my crossbow in the exact position that it's sticking out and fire down it to try and hit whoever's at the other side of that thing.
Clever.
Okay. Can you make me... you can't see them, so it's at disadvantage, but can you make me an attack roll?
Okay. So
that's a very cool that's a very cool action movie thing, though.
Love it.
But it's got to pull it off now. Oh, well, the first one's a 16 on the dice, so let's see. Do that. It's a 9. It's 16 in total, because it was a 9, second one.
You can't see this, but Ward, you're able to see because you're currently looking through. You direct it down, and potentially if they hadn't have just jumped out of the way of this hand, but it goes like through the thumb of the hand as you do that crossbow bolt down. Any bonuses or movement you'd like to use?
Well, I'm gonna move so that I can swing down next time.
Okay, so
I'll move towards the end.
Yep.
Falchion is gonna move and try and jump down into, because is there a bit between the two? There's a bit where people would actually step, right?
Yeah, it's like kind of 1-2 feet wide, a ledge at the end of each carriage.
Yeah, Falchion's gonna drop down into that, and then I don't know if that would be all their movement or not, or whether they can do more than that.
They can move a little bit more. Well, the tricky thing is the only place for them to move now is through doors that are currently closed.
Yeah, okay.
And it's starting to get a little bit crowded at that end, because that's where like Aoife is stuck to a wall, Ward is right on the door, Falchion is down there, etc. It's all very crowded.
In which case, Falchion will then withdraw to the absolute minimum that they can be, so that they're out of the way.
Okay. Rudy, you and Psychic.
So Rudy is going to stay on the roof, hang on just above the door at that same end of the carriage, and again flick down our goggles. And Psychic is, did you say one of the windows was broken? Can Psychic stealth inside?
Sure, let's roll stealth for Psychic. Kind of tumbling.
Oh god, that's a natural one. Okay.
So with the natural one, Psychic does the kind of the weird flight / bouncing around parkour vibes that Psychic has. However, going into the window, it's a broken window, and Psychic catches their hind leg and takes 1 point of piercing damage from that glass, and at the same time, as a response to that, lets out some hoot, I guess, in pain, and that means that the two individuals inside, both elves, femme elves as it happens, just swing around and see that there is now tumbling to the floor, and there in front of them this dog, which was not one of the things they were expecting to find, but hey, it's what they found. So that was Psychic, right? And Rudy, you've moved yourself to the back of the train.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not dropping down just because it's really crowded down there.
Fair. Okay, in that case, let's just check something here. That's fair. Okay, Ward, what you see is one of these individuals has black hair, one of them has blonde hair. The blonde-haired one was moving out of the way of the hand. The black-haired elf just swings round with a crossbow in hand, looks basically, can't quite see that you're behind there, but is looking you dead in the eye and just through this window in front of you. So
if it has to go through the window, do I have some kind of cover?
Cover's more about being seen.
But it's got to go through the window pane.
Well, I mean, obviously if it doesn't hit the Windows AC, then it's not even going to get through the window. It has hit the Windows AC. That's a 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a wizard, Chloe.
You're a wizard.
I'm just a wizard boy.
That is 9 points of damage. As just swings round, crossbow. It smashes through this small glass window and directly into you.
Hits me in the face, right?
It hits you in the face. And you see them start to get closer.
Yeah.
Approaching, since it's now obvious that there is someone at least behind there, and they know where they can go to try and fight. Bring it round.
But you see Ward like reel back with assumedly like in their eye or something, which is one of the things which is glowing, just an arrow, and yes, they look angry.
Aoife, you're stuck on the side of a train.
I would like to, I imagine she's sort of stuck between, they're 5 feet across, her hands are on one side of the carriage and her legs on the other side. So she's gonna a reverse spider climb, so she's standing upright on top of the carriage again.
Yep, yeah.
That was undignified. Okay, so Ward's just been hit.
Yes.
Pricks. That's my dad. Or parent.
Oh,
That's a Freudian slip. That's my parent.
That's my parent. Okay, I'm going to stick my head in the window, and I would like to cast Entangle on one of the people.
Cool. Just
Whichever
double checking.
it's a 20-foot
Spider
square,
climb.
isn't it?
Spider climb isn't concentration, is it?
Oh, it is. Spider is Entangle concentration.
I believe so.
It is, motherfucker. Okay, well I'm not losing concentration. I feel
That's scurry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to instead create. You kind of see, you've got a stands up, and there's cold air whooshing past, and then some of this air sort of crystallizes in Aoife's hand, and she's going to lean down kind of through the open window and throw in an ice knife.
Cool.
Sweet.
At one of them. So I make a
it's
range
such a good
spell
spell.
attack, which is that's cocked. That was a natural 1. Motherfucker.
It's a natural 1, you say.
A natural 1, I say.
No,
Okay.
don't.
Sorry.
The ice knife. I'm just gonna say the ice knife. You're trying to do it from a weird angle and through this window, so it's a bit tricky. It's a natural 1. You hear another hoot of pain.
No.
1 point of damage.
I am afraid it actually gets worse. Because hit or miss, the Khorvaire then explodes, and every creature within range must make a dexterity saving throw.
So that's after the initial attack.
Yeah, you throw it. If it hits, then it does damage, and then if it hits or misses, it just goes.
Okay, well that's 1 point of cold damage to sidekick.
It's just as well that I actually rolled.
Piercing damage.
Oh, piercing damage.
It's just as well I actually rolled hit points for sidekick and got the maximum of 3.
Sidekick is on 1 hit point. Okay.
So then a dex save.
Yeah.
And that's a dex save from what radius is that?
Every creature within 5 foot
What happens if sidekick fails the dex save?
takes 2d6 cold damage.
Yeah, that's.
Does it take?
Chloe, I'm not
Does it
making
take any
that.
damage on
Yeah.
a save? Is it half damage on a save?
No, it doesn't take any damage on a save.
Fingers crossed for sidekick, everyone.
I'm not in range of that,
Prayer
am I,
circle
Chloe?
for psychic.
That's
No,
17.
Wait, what's my DC?
Nice.
DC 16, you're fine.
Yeah.
Hey! The 2 members of the Order of the Emerald Claw fail.
Hey!
Only some
Hey.
damage,
Well,
as there is this
they
weird explosion of ice
Ooh.
inside this carriage.
They take 11 points of cold damage.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, I rolled super well on
Whoa.
those 6s. Good thing psychic made the save.
Okay.
From on top of the train, you just hear, Aoife, watch where you're throwing those things.
Sorry, I'm a little bit off. And if you see Aoife's kind of 1 foot on the train, and I'm a bit off balance.
Muck, it is back up
Hello.
to you.
I would like to continue trying to get to the other side and drop down.
Yep, you can easily do that. It'll just take your movement. You won't have to dash to get to the end.
Amazing. In which case, I turn around and look inside the carriage. Am I right in thinking that one moved towards Ward, towards the other end, and one hasn't moved?
One has moved towards Ward, and the other elf, the blonde-haired elf, is kind of at the side of the carriage because had to move back from the hand. But it's about halfway down the carriage.
Halfway down. Okay. In which case, I would like to sing a discordant melody towards the one that is closer to me. So I guess the blonde elf. I was singing and basically cast dissonant whispers in their directions.
That was dissonant.
There we go. To do damage and also get them to run away from me, hopefully.
Cool. So through this kind of smashed open window at the other end, you make that sound. And what's the roll that needs to be made?
It is a wisdom saving throw of 16.
That's a 2 on the dice. There's no way their wisdom is that high.
Perfect. So that is 3d6 psychic damage, and then also they have to use their reaction to move as far away from me if they can.
Sure.
And that is 8 damage, 8 psychic damage.
Okay. You see them recoil and then just peg it using their reaction to go right up to the other end of the carriage. So both of the elves are right up against the far end of the carriage now. It's actually their turn. That blonde individual still kind of going around, realizing now that it's not just a case of one person somehow survived the airship heading off. Multiple, and most likely all of you, are currently here, and is probably not quite sure what the best option is. Right. It's worked before, and this time they're not going to have to go through something. I'm going to point at you, Mukt, and it's with their crossbow. It's a natural 1. And I've punished natural ones when you'll have rolled them, so I'm going to be fair. Does basically what happens is almost like a gun. It sticks in the carriage of the crossbow, and there's just this kind of backlash into their shoulder, and they're going to take that's something falling off the desk. They're going to take 2 points of damage just from the kickback of that not properly activating, and you see just furiously trying to figure out what's broken about their crossbow. No other moves from them. Ward.
Okay, so inside how close are the 2 elves to each other now?
They're right next to each other.
Okay,
Right
and
next
how
to the door.
close are they to me?
About 5-10 feet.
Okay. I think you see Ward sort of reach up and pull this crossbow bolt from their eye, and there's this sort of like burning green light that comes from it, and their like jaw like unhinges and like distends almost like a sort of a snake like sort of thing, and they just scream like, and there's this sound like grinding cogs like you could hear from S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first episode. There's this huge loud awful noise, and I'm going to cast Shatter at 3rd level.
Ouch.
Okay.
Ward is not here to play.
Does Ward have any means of casting a spell like Shatter, that because Shatter has quite a range, doesn't it?
It's only a 10-foot.
Oh, okay.
spell.
Oh, it's just audible.
It's just it says that it's a loud ringing noise, but it's not one of the ones that has a specific like this is audible within 300 feet. So it just says that it's loud. So
Okay.
I don't know how you want to judge that. But it's a Constitution 16 saving throw.
Okay, so you know you're going to catch sidekick in this.
Is there no way that I can move it, because it's a sphere? I can sort of have it slightly further, because it's got a 60-foot range.
Yeah, no, it's only fair that if you kind of
if
really
that's
angle
possible,
it right
I would
in the
like
corner.
to. Yeah, actually, Chloe, I do it right in the middle, but somehow as these sort of waves of sound ring out from Ward, there's almost like a bubble that comes over Sidekick, and it just doesn't hit them.
Evil kick.
Nice. That is a 13 and a 14.
They don't make it.
Roll that damage.
That is 4d8.
That's a
1,
few.
2, 3,
Ouch.
4, or mostly crap damage. Okay, 60. It's just 17 points of thunder damage.
17, did you
17.
say?
Yeah, 17. Yeah, but it's something that maybe the everyone except for Rudy might have seen. Not everyone except for Rudy. Sorry, everyone except for Aoife might have seen Ward use magic in a way like this before. Use magic in a way that's violent and dangerous and massively destructive. But I can't imagine that Aoife's seen it before, because they've always tried to do whatever they can to just not have to use that sort of magic. But when you get this insight into this creature that was just built to destroy things in war, like that is literally all that they were built as a weapon, and you sort of get this insight into that.
I think Aoife just sort of looks at Ward just like, "You're right."
It just sort of like turn and look, and it's almost that like Terminator sort of like empty. Just been shot in the face. It's not nice.
Mac, it's over to you.
It is. How do these elves look damaged? Like they look like, this is terrifying, what's happening? Or do they look like
the blonde elf? It's hard for you to see from where you are,
okay.
but for the benefit of anyone, blonde elf, bloodied, looking visibly scared and freaked out and not quite sure what to do. The black-haired elf is not quite in as bad nick, but evidently hurt and harmed. Kind of, you still see like these weird icy shards stuck into them at different places.
Okay. And is there, so I was going to try and come down the way that everyone's been going, but is there a window in the side that's open, that's broken? Is that where Sidekick went through?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's trickier to get through because you're having to like lower yourself and then your legs down, since you can't fly like Sidekick.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to try something cinematic and swing down and use my action to attack with my feet.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Okay.
First off.
It's definitely athletics. Oh, that is good. That's 19 in athletics.
Yes. Okay, you successfully carry out that move, swinging down. What do you want to do next? You can't quite reach them with your legs. Like, you can't quite kick into them as you get down.
Am I how close do I get close enough to touch them even? Do I?
Oh yeah, you can then make an attack if you want.
Yeah, okay.
You can always do the like barrel roll out and like then nip up and shoot with your crossbow. It's very cool.
Well, I'll do exactly that. I will roll up and I'll just come up right in front of them and I will just put my arm down on them and do shocking grasp.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I believe that is +6.
Cool. This is going to be the black-haired elf is the one closest to you.
Okay. That is 18. And are they wearing armor made of metal?
They are made. It's studded leather, so not technically metal. No.
Okay, so it'll just be 2d8 then. So 2d8. And that is 13 damage. It's pretty good.
Jeez. Okay.
That was almost as high as my fucking 3rd level spell.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 and a 6 on the dice.
So yeah, the shocking grasp goes through, and you see like a change in their expression. You see like fear and realizing that actually they've bitten off more than they can chew in trying to take you on, just the two of them currently. Is there anything else you want to do? Is there anything Falchion does?
Falchion is Falchion's gonna run. Actually, is the door open? Can Falchion get in yet?
The door hasn't been opened.
Hasn't been opened. Okay, no. In which case, Falchion is going to hold their action until the door opens, and then they're going to move inside. That's what they're going to do.
Okay, absolutely. Rudy.
Okay. I think sorry, I had one plan and it's sort of gone out the window now. So Rudy, from where Rudy is, can I see inside the carriage at all?
You'd have to drop down, or you'd have to hang off the edge, like leaning over it to look through a window.
Okay.
Is putting your goggles on, is that an action or something? Because obviously Sidekick is in there.
So I already had the goggles on, which is an action, but taking them off isn't an action. So I'm taking them off, and so hanging over the side a little bit, see in the window, take a big massive puff on my cigar, and I blow out a giant cloud of smoke, and literally just like launch myself off the side of the train into the cloud of smoke, and I misty step inside the carriage.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
So that's my cigar spent, but I still have it.
So
that's
cool,
my
though.
bonus action.
Yeah.
And as my action, which one of the two elves looks better or looks
They now look,
healthier?
given what Mac just did, they now look pretty evenly matched in terms of how beaten up they are, injuries, bleeding, etc.
Okay. In that case, I go for the one Mac didn't go for, which was I think the blonde.
Blonde, yep.
Yeah. I just take a swing at him with my maul.
So, so you know the blonde one will actually take your movement, but because the blonde one did go, the blonde elf went further down to aim at Mukt.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll. Yeah.
Sorry, moving pieces.
I go for the dark-haired one with my maul, and it's I think the smoke kind of sort of comes in through the window, and I kind of step out of it, maul in hand, I just uppercut.
Oh, that's so cool.
She's so cool.
Which is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
And then is it's 12 damage.
12 damage. They are almost knocked off their feet. Not quite, but you just throw them back into the wall with the force of them all, and you hear like the clangs and the ring of just them hitting the side of this carriage.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like Sidekick to do?
No, I don't think so. No, Sidekick is sort of still licking his wounds a bit.
Yeah, Sidekick's been through a lot and has a single hit point left. That's fair.
It's partly my fault, but you know.
It is the Blackhead elves go now. They just say, "I'm sorry, go," and runs. You are going to get an attack of opportunity, because they're leaving your sphere.
I am.
Yeah, because you were right up next to. Because you would have had to have actually like get in there. I know Mac did just make an attack, but you would have had to get in there.
Yeah. Much like I did with Dargamath in the first episode, I want to just grab him.
You want to grab them?
Nice.
Yeah. Or knock him off his feet.
Called them, by the way, for the two individuals.
Knock them off their feet.
Don't worry, it's because Dargamath was a he. So if you want to, in that case, it's contested strength. If you're trying to do that.
So a strength check, that's going to be 22.
Oh, that is my 10. So just goes to run, and you.
So can I clothesline him? Then can I clothesline them?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm happy to flavour it like that. It's like a shove, because you can make a grapple into a shove.
Yeah.
So you just clothesline him.
Oh my god.
They fall
Amazing.
on the floor of this carriage.
Oh.
And they don't get to do much more because that happened to them. Aoife, you are still on the outside, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, with your passive, there's something that you notice because the train has been moving out from these plains, out from these very flat lands, and has been approaching.
It's going to be a tunnel. It's going to be a tunnel.
Some lines of mountains, and trains don't go over mountains. Trains go through mountains. You can start seeing like the black pinprick of the tunnel that is about to envelop this train. Anyone who's on the outside is going to need to move swift.
I will. I'll mind link to Rudy. There's a tunnel coming, and then I am going to, using my spider climb. I'm going to try and get in through the window.
Okay, which window is this?
Same one that Sidekick went through.
Okay, so going around the side.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you've got spider climb on. You can do that, and you're getting in there before this tunnel hits.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I would say inside it's kind of like it feels like it's a bit dimmer, and there's like light coming through the windows a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit dimmer. It's chilly. There's still like an icy hang in the air. One of the individuals is on the floor, having been clotheslined. The other one is stood at the far end, but also behind, like through a huge writhing hand of metal and gnarled items. And Sidekick is kind of licking his wounds in the corner.
So Aoife's going to kind of walk towards them, and as the flickers of light come through the window as the train moves past, you see that her face, like that grey that's in her skin, gets a bit more pronounced, and you see claws start sprouting out of her fingers. And I'm casting Primal Savagery, and I'm going to go up to the creature, to the person on the floor, lift them up by their chin, and just swipe at their face with her claws. And it's going to do, it's a melee spell attack against her. That is a 17.
Just misses.
Oh, holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah. You go into swipe. It might be because it's a bit disorientating in here.
Wait, technically, sorry. Are they prone? So I have advantage.
It's advantage on melee, and it's disadvantage on range. So
range.
Okay, take the advantage.
Yeah.
That's 18.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, roll for damage.
Okay, so I roll 2d10 because it's 5th level. That is 13 points of damage.
Sweet.
Describe.
And it's acid damage.
Describe what this looks like, Vic.
So yeah, it's Aoife, like her eyes go black. They're already dark, but the bits kind of around them kind of go black. And you all probably know because Aoife will have mentioned at some point that Aoife has grown up on the edge of the Mournlands, and because of that, her people have a bit of corruption in them, and this is clearly how it manifests, certainly in Aoife and probably most of them. And so when she picks up, it's just as well, and it looks like quite a shallow wound when it first goes across, and then it just burns through her face, through their face, sorry. And she'll just sort of drop them to the floor, and then we'll just look at the other one and just say, run or die.
Did you just take their face off?
Yay!
The body of Missa, as it happens, the body of Missa just drops to the floor. Apsara looks at you. You think death is gonna stop us for coming for you? Oh, I didn't realise you were stupid into the whole bargain. And it's Mukt's go.
Cool. I see what I don't like the person quipping back. You're not allowed to quip back at us. I cast suggestion at this person, and I say, no, you're going to help us through this train. And I need a, what is suggestion? Wisdom saving throw, 16.
Wisdom save. Oh. 14.
Yes.
Amazing.
Wait, it's I get advantage.
With advantage,
Because I'm in
yeah, because
combat
we're
with you.
fighting.
Yeah.
That is lower.
Yeah.
Sarah just looks back. Yes. At you.
Cool.
Who
Look.
is still outside of the train? Is anyone still outside?
I'm outside the
But on the
train,
ledge.
but I'm not on the roof. I'm on the
So,
I'm on
yeah.
the inside.
Everyone else is currently in.
Yeah.
So as Amsara says, yes, the whole carriage just goes dark as into the tunnel, and there's a little bit of a chance to breathe. There's a little bit of a shift in the air for a moment or so. What do? You're now out of initiative order.
Much. Can you make yourself look like them? I point at the creature, the person that I've just.
And I say,
Yeah.
Aoife, that is my speciality. I look to can I look to the person who I've just suggested to and say, sorry, what was your name?
I help you through the train. Don't tell you my name.
Well, do you know what would help me through the train? If this was civil, you know, we can say hi to each other, like, hi, I'm friends. And then you say,
Hi, I'm Ampisara.
oh, what a lovely name. I say, I also think what might help us through the train is if I just grab something off of your friend here, and then I will. What were they wearing? Are they wearing something that I could make the glamour weave look like, or are they wearing like very?
You could give the glamour with the impression of it. It's studded leather, browns and greens.
Okay. Oh, in which case I'll stick with that because I'd rather not do the faffy thing. And I change my appearance to look like different. Go on. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I was just going to say, what I'm not too foiled this is happening, but
Cool. Well, Pav, round off anything that Mook's doing.
Yeah. Just change my appearance to look like the person that's just gone down, and change what I look like clothes wise to look as much as possible like what they were wearing as well.
Cool. Ampisara doesn't look happy. G.
So Rudy has gone over and kind of checked on Psychic, and he seems okay. And so she has sent him back out the window and has got her goggles down and is just stealthing and scouting the
You're
carriage
in the tunnel.
ahead. And oh, so we are okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I forgot about the tunnel. My bad.
For a
Okay.
lot, I'm happy. I can let you know as soon as you're out of the tunnel. But you're literally like going through some mountains at the moment.
I'm
Is it
ready in
that, like-
action to do scouting when we're not in a dark tunnel.
Cool.
Is it that cool tunnel lighting where like every now and again there's like an ever burning flame in the
Yeah.
tunnel? So like as it goes past the window, like you could see like the sides of our faces like lit up and then out and then flash. Very
Absolutely.
dramatic.
Is the dead one wearing a emerald necklace like the ones on the
Yes.
on the airship?
This time actually round their neck rather than like
Hmm.
stuffed in a pocket or anything.
I'll take it off and hand it to Mook to complete the look.
I already have one.
Got one.
Mook
I
knows
already
that.
have one from the airship.
Yeah.
Mook's starting a collection.
Yes.
No.
I say, so, Ampisar, oh, I never heard them speak. Terrible. I'm
Yes,
going
terrible.
how does Ampisar speak? I speak like Ampisar then, because I'm just gonna guess they're the same. They're the same person.
Ampisara speaks just like I'm speaking now.
Great, that's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm
Maybe not
speaking like
always
that.
through such gritted teeth, but right now that's what you're getting from them.
More relaxed version. So I say, okay, what's in this train? What are we doing? What's next in this? What's the next carriage? What's on the train?
Next
Where's the train
carriage
going?
is cargo.
What's the cargo?
Equipment, tools,
Like weapons?
some
Okay. Are there how many like dangerous people are there on this train to a group of people who may be wanting to stop the train?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to count.
Okay.
May I open the back of the train and get in, by the way?
Yeah.
While this is going on.
Yep. Falchion comes in.
I turn to Ward and to anyone else who's and be like, we've got a friend.
Right.
Charmed.
Sure.
I see. So you will help us to get through the train.
Apparently so. Aoife, you notice a flicker of movement from the body.
The one I killed.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. Can I use a medicine check on it to see if it's actually dead?
Sure. Roll medicine.
I'm gonna guess the answer's fucking no. That's my it's a 24 to know this is a fucking zombie or whatever it is.
As you go to make your medicine check, you see like eyes kind of rolling back into position, and you see the pallor. You also, to be honest, the smell of zombie is a very distinctive smell, and they just start reaching for you. I said death wouldn't stop us.
I've got Primal Savagery still activated because it's a cantrip, so I'm just gonna try and swipe off their head, basically.
Go for it.
That's not. I don't know what zombies hit classes, but that's only a 15.
Alright, zombies are squishy.
Sick.
Oh, don't say squishy.
Literally, I feel the squish on my claws. That is gonna be. Ooh, that's 18
damage.
Yeah, I rolled a 10 and an 8 on the 2d10s.
It doesn't completely take them down, but I think like a body part probably goes.
Cool.
Like just ripping.
Right. Do we need
I want to hold up said body part to our new friend and go, what the hell are you doing with these people? What is going on this train?
I help you move through. I've been civil so far. I don't have to do anything else.
Wait, do we need to attack this zombie? Like, is this zombie rising up to attack us currently?
Reaching for Aoife. Anyone who wants to, I would let you, because like zombie is very slow moving.
I think Ward sort of turns, and there's this like ripple of sound again, like a sort of a milder version of the shatter earlier, and they cast Toll the Dead. Can the zombie make a wisdom saving throw, please?
That is a 10. Oh no, sorry, that's
fails.
a 12.
A 12, yeah, it fails. So it hears the sound of a dolorous bell, and it's taken damage, hasn't it? So that's 2d12.
Ouch.
That's just 12 points of damage.
12 points does it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and just back on the ground.
This is what you people are doing is twisted. We should proceed. We should keep going further.
Can I roll another medicine? Oh, sorry.
No, just say we have to get through the train.
Okay. Can I roll another medicine check to see if I can work out what it was that turned them into a zombie after they died?
You'd need to roll me an Arcana for that.
Ward, could you take a look?
Well, I might have.
The natural world is more Maya, and this feels far beyond natural.
I've seen undeath in my time, you know. No, I haven't. I've never seen an undead body in my life. No, what's that? That's just a dead body. I rolled a natural 1.
You have no idea what would do this.
It's well, when people are dead, they just die. They don't usually come back. So I know they just die. I don't know.
I want to check the body. There's nothing attached to it, nothing mechanical, nothing that looks like it would.
Roll investigation.
No tattoos, anything like that. Like
I checked the arm I'm holding.
Marks on their body or anything.
14.
You can't find anything on here that looks like it's arcane, that looks like it's mechanical, that would do this kind of thing. You can't find anything on the body that does this.
There's no tattoos that I can see, nothing like that.
No, and Ampasar is openly laughing at you all investigating Mrs. Body.
We should probably get a move on. Warder's ride.
Right.
You come out of Oh, sorry.
No dangers getting through the next door, Ampasar, if you're helping us.
I can do my best.
That
is also suggestion. Someone will try and help to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
And I believe the instruction was to get us through the train. I don't remember if there was anything specifically about as safely as possible. Was it as quickly as possible?
Yeah, fair.
You're like an evil genie, Chloe.
Yeah, I
You
did.
have to be careful with the wording of suggestion.
I did like an action movie thing, which is not good for suggestion. I would be more legalese in the future.
I can disguise self to look like this person if we want to knock this person out and tie them up and leave them here. In fact, if we want to knock them out, tie them up, and uncouple the carriage that they're in.
Yeah, I mean, Ampasara, how do we uncouple the carriage?
That wouldn't be very helpful in getting you further down the train, would it?
I think that if I had a look at the coupling, I would be able to work out how to uncouple it. I've seen things like this before. I think I'm with you, Mucht and Mac. I would feel much happier not having this liability coming with the Does that sound?
I agree. Let's get rid of her.
Right.
I
okay.
mean,
Then, but onto the train.
Tying them up seems a bit of a waste of rope.
That's not us.
Well, what are we going to do then? Well, I'm always for the favor of not killing people that we don't need to kill. We've overpowered this person. Let's just get them in the other carriage, and then let them, piss off. We can just uncouple the carriage and they're gone. We don't need to create another zombie for someone else to find later on. It's just. And I sort of start grabbing at them and sort of just no, let's just get rid of them. Does that work for everyone else?
How far off being knocked out do they look?
A couple of solid blows, especially from someone strong like you.
Won't suggestion break if we attack them?
They will be able to remake the save, I believe.
Okay.
Rope is not expensive. You can use mine, and I bring the rope out of my handy knapsack. And well, I'm not very sorry. I sort of made that big gesture. I'm not very good with my hands. Maybe someone else should tie them up. Or if you want to hit them,
you will have to grapple. They are going to resist because there's nothing in their suggestion that's you have to simply let yourself be tied up.
I grapple them because I'm not amazing at tying ropes.
I can help somebody tie, and then that way.
I mean, is tying rope survival or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
Then I can't help.
I roll it as sleight of hand. That is, in terms of strength, a 14.
The grapple, 22.
Barbarians.
I have good.
She big.
If that is helpful.
Perhaps I sort of
Yeah.
proffer the rope at Mucht.
Cool.
Perhaps you can practice your knot work, Mucht, on them.
I will. That is a 21.
Yeah, this is solid. There's various kind of bits and pieces and areas where you can tie them up, and they just start laughing.
Any help you want to offer, like, just any help, would be much appreciated. Advice, tips.
I'm going to tell Thackeray you let us on the train.
Sorry, that's a hell of a thing to say. Could you... Can you roll some kind of performance? Because obviously you've heard the name Thackeray, but you're trying to imply that you like know more rather than just you've heard the name Thackeray once. And just in terms of how Amphara takes this.
Okay, I have literally a 0 for this, so, and that is a 9. There you go.
That's a 9. Just gonna... That's a 13 on insight into that.
Yeah.
Fine. I trust your judgment with doing that. And okay, if you want a tip on getting through the train, you'll think she's a warforged. She's not. So there's some help, but I don't think it's going to help you that much. And I look forward to, whether it's in this life or the next, seeing you all as servants of the lady.
What's her name? We learned her name. We've heard about the lady.
Yeah. Is that Lady Ilmarrow?
Yes.
Okay. The Lich. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Are we going to be able to get them onto the other train carriage, Chloe? Is that something that we will be able to do?
When you say get them onto the other train carriage?
Yeah, we've tied them up, we've grappled them. Can we physically move them to
to be honest,
the
we could
final
probably
carriage?
if we get into the next one and then we can uncouple
that's what
this
That's
as
what
well.
I thought you were, because you can't just leave them
Yeah.
in this one
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go through to the next one.
I was just gonna say, can I pat down for like, I don't know, like key cards or like what, if there's any like that kind of vibe?
For key fobs and such.
Yeah, you know,
Useful items.
Yeah.
Useful, like a little piece of paper with a code on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say roll investigation at disadvantage because they're tied up, but again, they're not cooperative.
In which case, can I do it to the other person?
Sure, if you want to, like, they've already been looked at. Max already had a solid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know, Max.
Yeah, there isn't anything.
Okay,
like
in which
that
case I
you
like
find.
Well, I'll do the disadvantage. Then one. Then that is the thing. Oh, it's an 9. Natural 20 and a 5. So that is 9 total.
Like kicking you away, just trying to keep you back.
Okay.
I would like to, and I won't describe this in a huge amount of detail, but I'd like to kind of make my nails long and acidic again, and I want to basically on her face write the druidic for essentially a kind of, it would translate to something like criminal or outcast, almost like a mark of Cain, to basically inform anyone who's understands that if they come across her that she's not safe and she can't be trusted.
Cool. So it's they can't be.
They apologies. Yes, they are.
Cool.
They are not
It's
safe.
like, that's a boss move, and you do that. Like, yeah, I think that's sufficient amount of detail.
Can we say that you do that while maybe Ward is like starting to go towards the next thing?
That's fair.
I don't think that they would have.
Eva's not drawing attention
done that,
to
yeah.
it. It's just a case of like, fine, we're not killing you, but you are a threat. You are a threat to the people, and people need to know. And
Yeah. But I was like, Ward has not seen that happen.
Yeah.
Are you heading towards the next carriage?
Yeah.
Cool.
It seems so.
It's at this time, you don't know if you're going to go into another one anytime soon, but you feel like stream in as you come out of that tunnel. And you are surrounded by mountains on either side, but there is space outside the carriage.
Okay. Well, I suppose if we don't know whether it's safe to open the doors, but we can give that the old college try. Give that a.
Hang on a second. And Rudy flips down her goggles, and Sidekick goes out the window and stealths up onto the roof and just kind of checks if there's anything around or sees what you can see.
Can I join Sidekick as well, doing that with Spider Climb?
How long does Spider Climb last? Can I just check?
An hour, as long as I don't break concentration and I haven't taken any damage yet.
Okay. Yeah, that's. Can you roll me stealth for Sidekick? Is Aoife stealthing?
What's my yeah, I will attempt to stealth as well.
Cool.
Right. It's just I said that I know my perception's really good.
Dear. Sidekick's not stealthing well, only 8.
Aoife also got 8. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah, there's a lot of clunking. You don't see much from out there. You can see the shape of the carriages and such like. You can see what doesn't seem to be currently manned in any way, but the cannon turret that was shooting at the ship from earlier, like a couple of carriages down. But aside from that, there's nothing that you immediately spot. Are you looking into the next carriage?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cargo. You can just see, you can't see any individuals in there, but you can see a huge amount of boxes and such like, similar to what Apsara described. But you can't see any individuals.
So Rudy flicks her goggles back up. Well, there's nobody in the next carriage for now. I think we should probably get moving.
Sounds good to me.
And return to the group.
Can I ask a question? Is it normal for this train to have a gun turret on it?
Is that asking me? Is that asking others who know more
I'm
about
like,
trains?
just what I think I would. I think because this is like a normal service that happens, one of us must have some kind of knowledge of whether there would.
Well, what you know
be...
is it was a train that was due to stop at Rote. You don't know that it was necessarily like a standard service.
Yeah, okay.
And from what you've seen of the train so far, the fact that the rear console was completely smashed up, like the Dragon Shard that contained the elemental in that half was smashed, so that it simply can't go in the other direction anymore. It looks like it's been adapted, or at least certain carriages that are most ideal have been coupled together for this purpose.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it was Kane's intelligence that said it was going to stop at Rote, and then demonstrated that wasn't the case.
On that, I want to try something. It's okay. I don't know how this works, or if this is possible, so just tell me if it doesn't work. But can I point towards the carriages that we're heading towards and try and send a message to Kane?
Oh, message is, I believe that might be like someone you can see within 30 feet.
That's what I was trying to work out. Yes,
it's just a direction 110, as far as I remember.
If you knew they were there but you couldn't see them, then you could.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so
I'm not sure.
What's the range on message again?
120
120.
feet. Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I say, Kane, it's Mook from the line. Can you hear me? We're here to get you out of here.
Is what you hear.
What is what you hear?
It's I'm here, but done as a cough. Because message, you have to whisper.
To speak out loud.
Have to speak out loud.
Yeah.
So that's what you hear.
I turn to everyone and I say, okay, Kane is within 120 feet of where we are right now.
And he's alive.
Yep.
Is he alone?
So
no idea.
It
seemed like
that means he's in the next couple of carriages.
Yes.
If the carriages are 60 foot long, then he's within
the next one's
two.
empty.
Yeah, so he must be. Perhaps we should hurry if he's not alone.
I flick my goggles down again, and with Sidekick go up to the next carriage. So 2 up from where we are to look in the window.
Please stealth well.
Is Sidekick okay being 120 feet away from you? There isn't like a limit on familiar.
There's I can be 100. I can communicate. I can see through his eyes as long as I'm 100 feet, or within 100 feet of him. So
Okay.
I blindly sidle my way up the carriage, so I'm at one end of the carriage.
That's
So
fine.
seeing 2 carriages ahead, he's still
yeah.
within range.
Yeah. Okay. So you're looking into 2 carriages along through Psychic's eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Psychic stealthing still?
Yes.
Very important to know. Okay, I need a fresh stealth roll from Psychic.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Boom, baby.
Which is way better than the 8 I had before. Thank you.
Sometimes the odds are in your favor.
Yeah.
Okay. What you see, Rudy, through Psychic's eyes is through a small window that is, again, a little bit dirty. It's not broken, but it's possible to see inside. It's what looks like an old and slightly wrecked dining cart. There are tables and benches that are worked, kind of nailed and screwed into the ground. There is something that I don't know if Rudy fought in the war. You know what a Karnathi undead soldier looks like. For anyone who obviously doesn't have that visual ready to hand, imagine like a large skeleton that stands maybe like 6-7 feet tall, and it's almost like a mix of the bones of kind of like larger than you'd expect, and there's stuff just strung between them, and looks like the strongest skeleton you've ever seen. Incredibly menacing and stands incredibly tall, especially within the confines of this carriage. You can see that Karnathi undead soldier stood tall. You can see a tiefling with her horns sharpened to a specific point and kind of red pinpricks almost in terms of her eyes, stood wearing the similar, now familiar emerald claw garb, standing, both of them, over the battered form of Cain, your half-orc contact. And the Karnathi undead soldier has a sword in hand. The tiefling has what looks like a kind of very gnarled, short, arcane wand in her hand. And currently there is a conversation happening. Cain, half-orc, one of his tusks is broken. He's got kind of bruised and bleeding around one of his eyes, and is just looking absolutely beaten and battered, clearly stripped of weapons and of anything that might help him in this moment. And that is what is inside that carriage.
Wow. Okay, I mean, I relay all of that.
Oh well, it looks like you better go help your friend. From tied up at the other end of the carriage.
Yes, it does look. Thank you very much for the tip. That it does exactly look like what we need to do. So
I would like
perhaps
to grow a bunch. Oh, sorry.
No, I kind of want to turn back and say, who was it that heard what was happening inside before? Was it Sidekick? It was that I saw when right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned to Rudy and I said, Rudy, are we sure that they can't talk to, pointing at Amsara? Because after having said that, I'm a bit worried.
When we first got here, there was definitely psychic. I could hear something, but there was nobody in the room. Maybe it's something that you could have a look at. That's your kind of technology and stuff, right?
Who is that to?
Sorry, to Mac.
Oh, to Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see them if they're invisible. I think, didn't the people get orders and then someone else walked away? Didn't they get sent in our direction?
G, are you still looking through Sidekick's eyes?
Yes.
Cool. A blast of arcane energy comes out of that wand and just throws Cain back.
Please, if Cain is
much time.
If Cain is being tortured, we need to hurry.
We need to get there now. He's not got long left.
Yeah. In response to Mara's smart comment, I'd like to reach out and druidcraft some moss in her mouth to use as a gag, and then
Good.
and then head towards the door.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, their mouth.
Their mouth.
To use the gag. Yeah.
Right. Right.
And then goggles
all
up.
yeah.
Sidekick is still kind of Sidekick stays where he is, and Rudy's goggles up, and she heads for the door.
So is Rudy having to feel around blindly?
Goggles
No,
up.
she's taking her goggles
Sorry,
off.
goggles up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you moving?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go on ahead, I'll quickly uncouple this train, and then they'll be gone. And I hope they make better choices in their next life. I say loudly as I saw the door closed.
Yeah. You can all move through. It's like sliding doors at the end of these carriages, so it's easy enough for you to get into the next carriage. As described, there's a lot of like half-used tools. It almost looks a bit like a kind of workshop where things have been piled up in corners. There's sheets of metal and such like that are half-used with shapes cut out of them, various odds and sods like that, and also like scorch marks where things have either been welded or put together. But it's not this carriage that's been put together. Obviously, other elements were being assembled in here. Ward, can you make me a strength check? Because uncoupling is basically you have two planes and you have a pin that's going down the middle and you need to pull that out, but there's so much tension between them.
An athletics check.
Yes.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. You're stuck in a position of, do you try to do this or do you catch up to the others?
It could, if I used firebolt to try and burn through it. Is that something that I'd be able to do?
If you roll high enough.
Okay.
It's metal.
May I try to do that?
Go for it.
Bad rolls. That's 17.
17.
I rolled a 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like just trying to do this on metal, it's you can see it heat up fractionally, but it's not actually getting through there.
Yeah, the 17 didn't do that.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't do it. Hopefully they won't be able to get through, but I can't.
You're struggling to uncouple them, is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not strong
through.
enough.
Ward's trying to uncouple them, but you also know.
I don't think this is the most pressing thing right now. The door is shut. They're tied up. We need to worry about the living people on our side. I think.
Yeah.
Can
I quickly try and use again an acid attack to sort of like burn through the bindings?
Burn through the coupling.
Yeah, with using the savage prime, whatever it's called, form.
Savage
primal savagery. That's the one.
You can't see it, but whilst this happened, another hit on Kane.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that doesn't work, I'm just going to start running for the other door.
What was the roll?
Oh, yeah, I didn't actually roll. Annoying. Oh, well, the roll is a 25.
25, roll me damage.
I rolled a 7. Come on, bitches. 9 points of damage.
You see it half start to come away, maybe with more time and more strain, but right now it's still attached.
We don't have time for this. Okay, I follow the group.
Okay, you get to the far end of the carriage. What do you want to do?
Can we kick down the door?
Yeah, I mean,
you can go straight in there if you want.
I think so. Rudy gets to the end of the carriage, slides open the door, and so is between the two carriages, with the door, the next door still closed, and quickly has another look. What does she see through Sidekick's eyes?
It's the same. It's the same image, except Kane looks worse for wear.
And like, in terms of getting into the room, like, what position am I going to be in? I want to try and use the knowledge of being able to see where they are to give me some sort of advantage.
Can you roll stealth for me? Because you've moved into that space.
So that's a stealth of 23.
Okay, cool. In terms of getting in, really, in this one, it's not as beaten up as the rearmost ones. You've got door, or that's it.
I might be able to, if we open the door and I can just see them, I might be able to do something a little bit explosive that might hurt them, but I can make it not hurt Kane. And if we're going to surprise them, I can maybe start with something big.
Let's do that.
I think with these guys, we gotta get the surprise.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that now.
Yep.
I can think of something quite surprising.
What are you doing?
I
Well,
would
okay.
like to like nod in agreement, and then I think just like based on what the urgency that they've said, like run up to the window, and if I am in sight and within 60 feet of Kane, cast Healing Word at 3rd level.
Okay. You can get yourself within sight. Healing Word.
Yeah.
Roll for the healing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all say yes to
Yeah.
Ward?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, is it possible to open the door in such a way that the
It will get
tiefling
noticed
and
the moment you open
they will
the door.
notice? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So that's plus my skill past in modifier, which is +5. So that's 16 points of healing.
16 points of healing.
Yeah.
This flushes back into Kane that the magic is evident.
Mm-hmm.
The tiefling starts looking around. The soldier starts looking around. Kane indeed starts looking around, sees that you're there, and the last thing you hear before we break is Kane just shouting, "They built a resonator! They built a resonator! A Mabaran resonator!" And that is the moment where we're going to stop for this week. So
Resonator!
quickly. Everyone,
You said a what resonator?
a Mabaran resonator.
Mabaran resonator.
Yes,
don't
I
know
believe
what that
I'm pronouncing
is.
that correctly. Anyway, we've not got much time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for 3 of 4 of Eberron Terminus. If you enjoyed tonight, we've got one more week to go, which will be 6 to 9 p.m. BST next Monday. Then we've got some cool stuff. We've got like little one-shots and bits and pieces. Check out our Facebook, our Twitter, etc. to keep up to speed with that. We are at Adventures250 on Twitter. We are... Adventures Wanted pretty much everywhere else: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. We have other shows going on at the moment, so just check out our website adventureswanted.co.uk or social media for the scoop on those. A big thanks again to Ultra Pro and D&D Beyond, who sponsor everything that we do. We could not do this without them, so thank you so much. And don't forget, you've still got a chance to get into the chat with a chance of winning Hive.
Hi.
If you head over to our YouTube channel, we've got a whole range of other campaigns and games there. Everything we stream goes up onto YouTube, from Star Trek Adventures games to some 12-part D&D campaigns to a 250-hour campaign we did years back. So youtube.com/Adventurers Wanted for that, and twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted for all our upcoming streams. If you want to support us and what we do in a different way beyond just watching, then you can become a supporter on Patreon. Being a patron gets you access to homebrews, playable versions of adventures like this. Especially with ones like this, you get the bonus of seeing all the content that I didn't use, but did rush up. And there's blog posts on writing and running games on role-playing, things like that, sneak peeks of what we're up to, patreon.com/Adventurers Wanted. And another way you can support us is simply telling people about us and about the show. So feel free to do that on social media. That would be awesome. In the meantime, we will see you next week to figure out exactly what is happening on this train and how everyone is going to get out of this situation. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.